I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broken. So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the lighter. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. Bigger they are, harder they fall.
We return to the dark of the future. We come to one member of this party who has not been alive, or conscious, for about 2 episodes. Waking to the same or a similar experience in the mountains. Henrik Cornell, are feeling like something is breathing through you, sucking oxygen into your stomach, into your lungs, where you feel it then pulled back out with some ferocity. A breathless fear where you can never have enough time to catch the breath inside yourself. You're not keeping up with its breathing patterns. It's shooting out the air faster than you can actually inhale, so that kind of nervous fear of being out of breath is building. And then it is extinguished, and then it builds quickly again. Breathing out, in, as you feel bittersweet air, and you inhale through your mouth. What you taste, it's not bitter, it's not sweet. It's that thing that isn't you. When you are roused by a kind of sour, foul taste in your mouth, you're not raised to your body. You're woken into a void. A blackness in your mind. A area where there is no sun, but you notice something standing in the way of what could be considered kind of like an ember horizon. You see a sun rise distant, but you're realizing it's much closer, and it's emerging out of a darkness waist high, and it runs, and it is round, it's circular, and it curves upwards, and you're realizing that there is something blotting it out. You can see its curvature, its bright rim of golden light, but there is blackness blocking it. You don't know how you're seeing this. And yet you are, and it doesn't feel like you're looking at all. It feels like you're gazing into something you've been in before. It feels eerily similar, yet you are floating without form. You are a mind inside of maybe your mind. So when there is a choice, you see that darkness, that shadow form that takes up the light. Once that sun or ball has almost reached the kind of central apex where there is nothing holding it back from being completely central, the shadow steps away. It moves right. There are 2 choices. You don't have to pick them just yet. Because when it steps aside, suddenly ringing and an audio sifts into your mind like water flooding and then filtering into your canals. The light, it is that you remember, it is reddish blobs of discolored life that shades the corners of the areas where you can see there is something living in the space in front of your form, yet you're still kind of back, you're recessed, you're in this darkness, and there are 2 choices. The darkness to look at, or to look just through the light. But then that light, It's hitting you, though you're not looking at it specifically. You're caught between, and the sound filters in. The sound you hear. You were supposed to slow them down. I cannot beat them alone, not even with the curse of the martyr. You shouldn't have given them enough time to enter. I tried. They appear to have sustained major damage from the battle with your sister. Your failure has given these fools the ingredients to fuck me over! Followed by a muffled branch or bone snapping. It's distant, and even though you're in this expansive void, you're thinking it's echoing through a space where you're hearing the loud reverberations of its sound through your eardrums, slowly getting filtered in, along with echoes of their mind. You're hearing like just sounds, whispers of potentially their thoughts, but they're so far away it sounds almost like wind. Followed by sound of cracking branches continuing, but now that sound's getting closer. Like someone stepping on broken, wilting bark or root. Waking, O lost Sergav. Don't worry. If I feed on you now, I would only trap you inside this nightmare. No, I need you for assurances. As the following rumbling, cracking, and rending of thick bark tearing sounds by the sound of now audible giant-like footsteps. Loud enough to shake your ear canals. You hear barely audible and a voice you've never heard before. Please. Someone. Please. That's all you hear. As you realize your feet and your arms, they're visible and slightly transformed in the light. At the corners of that, you can see your arms, you can see your feet. At the corners of that light. Somehow you don't even look at the sphere and you can tell that at the corners of that golden light where you were looking before, there's color filtering into your eyes. And then you realize, as you're trying to get an awareness of the sound, not even the sight, the sound, stuck in this darkness, there is a kind of heartbeat. It's not from you. It's audibly 10 feet away from you, and you didn't hear footsteps approaching. You hear from your voice, your friends think they know you. They merge, the voices synchronize, this mimicry. You think your sound of your vocals are unique? Then a crack of a branch beside your head, the sound reverberating in loudly and aggressively. You can't control how it's louder than it should be. Then another crack, and it's 100 feet away again. The sound drifts away. That's when it's all flooding in. It's like it all happens in 6 seconds, but it maybe was 30, 12, a minute. You have a choice. But you don't really even feel like you just realize that you're aware of the darkness and that what you're inside of is just black, without control. I'm a lot away.
Didn't sound like any of those voices came from the darkness. They were just...
They were external. And it was that awful type of uncontrolled sound. It's adjusted not to your hearing, it's something else's. It's so much louder than it should be.
Sort of... What is the dark? Is the darkness sort of...
It's hard to, except when it moves from blocking this light, and you can see the corners of the rim that it moves from, they are shadowed over. So it is at that moment blocking something. There is a recognizable single pinprick of red. The red that you are able to sense, like you could call it a brain or an organ or a bit of flowing warmth or blood in that you like a hairpin, and you watch it merge right and leave open this golden shining doorway where there are senses hitting you, but it feels like it knows that you can't. When it moves away, it's abrasive, it's affronting, and you can't handle the control of the output, of the input. So it's only enough reason to look back into that darkness, where there was something that indicated to you inside your own mind, where it's like a cell or a drop of blood or something. That's all it is. Is that enough to convince you to look at it? It feels, unlike all of the input, it feels internal. It feels untethered to the outside sound. You're not even aware that she's aware that something is with you in this darkness. Like white noise. At first it's a real like rough sound, slowly filtering like waves. It does, but in that moment that it comes, that white noise is filled with almost like a percolating of pores. You're starting to feel, unfortunately, the heat. It feels stronger than your own natural body heat. A little bit. You are warmer than you expected to be. You look, and suddenly you look away from the light. There is one or two moments where your eyes, your conscious eyes, whatever is inside is darting and pinpricking and trying to locate that single speck. And then you realize it's like out of focus. It's so dim that you didn't realize it had gotten bigger. And you're realizing it's kind of an eye. It's kind of a dot. A black dot in the center of 6 crowns, 6 arrows in the form of like a D8 diamond, but stretched out. Long and all inverted inwards, so that only in the very center of a pinprick there is a black dot, surrounded by very, very faint red diamonds in a 6-form circle to make an eye of red. And you see it spin and spin until all of those fragments of darkness between the red become blurred into one red big eye. And then two, 4. other eyes begin to focus in out of the darkness. It's like they had no color until you look at them, and then suddenly they are gaining vibrance in the darkness. They are shadows forming more material. 6 red eyes. And then you see the one that you first looked at moves above the others and forms 6 red arrows like a crown above 5 eyes, 1 being missing. You feel it's different. It's almost noxiously overwhelming. You feel it. It's like you're strapped in, you're harnessed. You feel tight. You feel kind of like a stretch. Your body feels, it gains feeling, but you're still in this dark space. There are tight points all over your body, almost like you feel barbs growing out of bone, out of skin, but your arms are stretching to fit those barbs. From the outside, you hear 4, you think it's 4 legs. Go to goo goo. You flicker in. That darkness, those eyes, that crown of arrows fades. And you're still kind of in a darker state, but now kind of everything is red. And you're noticing like crystal spires that are glowing more vibrant red than almost the landmass. But the land itself is maybe hot, or it's bleeding. You know, one of the two. There are shadow spires of this hot color visible kind of everywhere, protruding in the extruding periphery of your vision. And the trees that are close in proximity, you can almost unnaturally feel their decay, their wilting, and you can smell from both of those trees that there is a thick source of blood coming from the center stem, and it is very recently dead, draining and dripping down the side of these 2 trees. Not the one that you're now realizing your body is merged with, not in a natural way. Like your feet and your arms and your head are not merged into this tree, just your chest is, just your thighs. And you're realizing now that your legs are bent backwards in a broken, unnatural way, so that you can basically rip out of the tree with just your legs. You now have strength. You now have form. I don't know if you have control, and I don't think you know either. But there is some semblance of understanding that what you currently wield will do as you say to that, which looks like a bloody, tall form. I'm going to tell you that I rolled ahead of time. She rolled a natural 1 on her perception check, which means her plus 15 puts that at the DC 16 perception to stealth, which your creature is very aware that even in the moment of enlarging, your body has still not made enough, your chest hasn't ripped out of the bark, yet your form has kind of grown out far past the tree's parameters. You are able to try and see if you can get out of her line of sight, stealth away from her, and at this moment she didn't even sound like she registered that some more consciousness had come back to you. So, get your dice. This is up to you on how you want to approach the situation.
Yeah, I think we'll... Yes. He sort of... delve into the shadows.
Kind of. You know almost instantly coming into this while you get your dice a go. You're on the borders of your own domain. You're like a guard dog right now. There is a bridge which you're very, very close to, and you realize if you cross that bridge, you enter the source of your heat, or maybe the source of the heat. You return. That fixed the whole problem. They did a totally normal thing. The late noon sun hidden behind the cliffs to the west. A jagged shadow covers you as noon's light barely hits your periphery. Enough light to tell you and show you that there is a hag. Her form is long and unnaturally bent, and currently it is at the precipice of entering what appears to be a, I don't know, I'd call it like a throne of jagged glass. Uncanny. It has the exact same quality to Viper's staff. Light hits the corner of it and it reflects green and blue. And in front of you, he's a massive rod. The room of stone floors and timber walls splintered under the hooves of a skinless monster hybrid with a spike ball end of the tail coated in blood, its face and skin stripped from it. Its teeth horns appear torn half apart. Its mouth hangs loosely open like the bottom of its mouth had been chewed inwards. As from that broken front jaw, green, stagnant smoke, a fume pours, more like a waterfall. It cascades down the front of its mouth. Its broken mouth gushing this green vapor, flooding towards you. And we didn't do this ahead of time, but I want the three of you to roll me initiative to see if you guys can outbeat this monster's fog gas.
Roll well on initiative.
Very nice. A 12?
19.
19. Melion?
21.
21. It rolled a 2.
Oh.
So its gas cloud goes last. So as this, it doesn't have the lung strength. It's undead. To burst this gas cloud out, it slowly starts to just seep from its mouth, like a slow pooling waterfall out of a kind of.
So it's not breathing.
So it's not breathing a gas bomb towards you. There are moments. Grok is on his back, like totally has been just. He told the story. The roof was on fire. Then it was quickly put out. The hag ran through the chimney. Grok basically fell back on the chair that he was telling a story with, and then now you're looking out the door. There's the bull, but in the distance, that hag with like maybe 8 strands of black hair has a perfectly long set of red locks, almost pinkish red locks. As you can see, there are sacks and bodies over both arms. One looks maybe the size of Grok's generator. A massive 10-foot long machine she holds, and then there are a few like minor sacks hanging from the corners of her arms, and 3 bodies over her other arm. Maybe you recognize the hippopotamus man, very thick, but unfortunately he looked very sickly because he didn't get enough sustenance. So he's the most recognizable because he's big. You're probably getting Cornell's body, but it looks like a kind of mat of like hair, like brown, deep brown hair.
So I was gonna make.
Everyone knows dead bodies grow hair.
Dead bodies totally grow the hair. The hair. Okay. So then top of initiative is Melion. It's trying to inhale just so it can exhale, and it can't. Cicero.
Is the fire on?
No, the fire glowed green when she was casting this barrier to protect Grok from getting attacked from himself. That sputtered out the moment she climbed up it. No, you need to use it.
I will move here.
Oh, you can give it to them.
I will say, everybody take a deep breath. And I will
Do the thing.
take a deep breath. And then I will pull out of my little bag which clinks because it's completely full and I can barely hold it. Little vial,
Hey Nick,
an empty vial.
you standing up, your head is cut
I
off.
need to be able to see what I'm doing. Otherwise, and I will empty it. I will pull the top off, and I will empty.
5, 1, 2, 3.
And 20 feet around me will become dead air. And then I will.
The vial.
Yep. So 20 foot around me is unbreathable air. And then I will just run to the door
Unbreathable!
and attempt to.
Can try to bust through that door. Give me just a strength check. There's a few things. You're literally opening it, not expecting there to be something
Is
underneath
there
it.
like a latch, or is it just a?
No, it just seems like a shitty shutter wooden door. This whole place doesn't look very well made at all.
12.
12, okay. You get like enough doorway where 3 things back up and then it hits a point. You can fit your body through there. Probably not Grok. Alright, cool. So there is a kind of a low, you have to climb up here. There is basically a low elevation dot at where the door opens, and it's kind of like a nice rocky hill rise. Can you move him where that extra stone is? Yep, he's there.
Give me another 10 feet out.
There?
Yeah.
Just behind the rock.
Just behind the rock.
There you go.
Cool, okay.
Okay, now press my back against the rock.
So hold your breath.
That's it.
We said that to all of you.
I said take a deep breath.
Take a deep
I
breath.
can't anymore. So.
Wait, breathing?
So next is Moki.
Cool. This here is the window, right?
That is a window. And it looks like it was already kind of ramshackled. It doesn't look as fine as that window does. It does
Like
look...
a wooden barricade window or a metal barricade?
They look like they may have been glass at one point. It doesn't look as perfectly crisscrossed, but yeah.
It's like a wood.
Now there's some shutters holding up. There is some remnant glass there. It looks easily breakable.
Does Grok look like he can
Grok looked like he totally just fell unconscious, and you do see the chest like heave in a 7-foot type of way. So there, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick him up.
Okay.
Grok, I'm good. Ignore my blood.
Oh, okay.
Expels a minute of air
I just think
that he
I just called
can
it
no
blood,
longer
that's
breathe
fine.
in.
Yeah. Let's get this.
Funny, he lost like 10
Yes.
Now I am going to
Probably something.
fucking run through the window.
All right, this is not going to end poorly at all.
Some nice attack.
You know what? I'm giving it to you. DC 13, strength.
I'm just gonna put myself everything pretty sure I
Climb
succeed
check.
anyway.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to make this harder. I'm going to say DC 15, fortitude saving throw. You're carrying a body with you and you don't want it to get hurt, right? Or do you not give a shit? Are you fireman carrying? You're not fireman carrying.
Going out, I'm like carrying my arm. I'm like, "Rah."
Okay, so
I passed the point.
that's good.
Lucky.
Sure. All right. So just a straight hard DC 13 strength check.
Succeed.
Succeed.
Okay, 20.
The window, shittily made that it was, now lets you step out through
Obviously
it.
a strenuous action, right?
For sure.
Cool. Like I become a negative hit point. I take a point of damage. Technically, I'm stacked.
Is that all you can move?
Yeah. Yeah. That's like.
Okay, that's your turn.
Attack of opportunity.
Oh, well, actually, hold on. Fucking.
No, this island says reach.
And
This creature definitely has reach.
Yeah, no, that's all I can use.
Let's just maybe doesn't have a roll.
Does it have a reach? Yeah.
Would probably do. Let me double check here.
Oh, look at it.
Boom.
Range. It doesn't get opportunity attack if I leave it.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
No, it's moving through.
so it only has bite attack, gore attack, and hooves.
No, it can't slap who you know.
Each of them have a 15-foot reach.
Okay, never mind.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait. That means
You're currently in it.
he's still in.
I'm
Yeah.
still in it. Nice.
Safe.
Okay, that just means he gets a full round on you. So.
Yeah.
Grockus.
All right. Grok will awaken. Hysteric screams in his head. His head's hurting. I'm gonna roll for a spell check. I succeed. I beat the 20.
Let's get.
That's an 82.
Uh,
All right.
Grok, you wake to hear like an argument, like arguing, and the nausea slowly fading as somehow, even though rage pumps through your body, something else drives you. Not intellect, like a memory. The reason you fought so hard, but your goals, your focus. It's in the wind. It's gone.
As Grok will
What
grab
makes
his
you
head,
fight?
as suddenly from his hand blurs out this weird mucus bubble that surrounds his head.
I think it's like a metallic kind of like a mercury bubble.
Except it's made out of sweat.
That's gross. Your hand is currently fully covered in the metal, so you're sweating metal.
It's like it's a metal.
It is a mercury bubble.
Mercury bubble.
Come to me,
That's
body
around
fluid,
his
I
head.
don't care about anymore.
This is air bubble, so I'm immune to all
Love it.
hazards like gases.
Love it. Gases. Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Wait, did that include me?
You can. You're currently prone, so you can use your rest of your movement to get up.
I'm carrying him.
I have
You
one
can only
action
take one
attack.
action.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm on -1 feeling.
That's right. You're slowly dying. Good.
When you're slowly dying.
When you're slowly dying. Here we go.
No.
Did you say I was stabilized when I'm 0 though?
Yeah. Yes.
If I'm stabilized, then I think it's still take.
At 0, you're not dying.
Oh, no, even if
Yeah. You went.
Okay.
You went to 0. I guess there's no stabilizing without the brooch. So no. Yeah. You're just.
No,
You just have to make the
you do a save.
You're right. It's one every hour. You can only make one every hour. We discussed this.
Or when you take that.
Or when you take damage. So yeah, make a save. Is this a death? This is a death save, basically.
16.
So that's a success. It's DC 10
If
or 11.
Minus the negative hit points. Yeah. Or, yeah, you got 15.
So yeah.
I thought you took damage from doing a certain attack.
No.
Casting a spell is not going to use it.
Oh, okay. We won't die anyway. Going to 0 hit points is the thing.
There you go.
I think
Yeah, your feature is the thing that. No, it doesn't make you bleed, but it will give you the opportunity for more blood if you run into battle.
So you can just be dying.
It's good you're also not moving out of its range because you'd be the first to get whacked. Exactly. Grok's turn is over, and now you notice all 3 of you, maybe Grok doesn't as well, because that mercury bubble kind of has a bit of like a color disorientation from just being inside of it. Your brain is also kind of still coming back to the full scope of what's happening. You're not where you were before. You don't remember like the reason you came to this place, none of that. But you see black dots growing larger from the shadows of the corners of the forest behind the jagged range of cliffs spires. Behind the large stones, 3 forms, all covered in fur, but have begun to pull leather straps, harnesses, revealing from behind their backs rifles. Large guns.
What? The fairies are here.
The fairies.
You were right.
The Fairy Armada.
With me.
What the fairies are
Oh!
Yeah, knowledge. The fairy Minutemen up here.
Jake's gonna have an absolute pee fest with this.
That thing is not holding a gun. Shut up. No, it's not.
This guy's holding a hand that was covered in metal. See? It is real.
It's exactly the same as a gun. You're right.
You see all of them have one arm band of metal halfway up there at the edge of where their elbow is. Cornell's was closer to the inner arm area. But similar in metal. You notice they are sprinting. The black forms disappear behind the throne of stone and glass and then quickly move around it, carefully pulling long neck rifles. You see they aren't common. These guns in particular aren't a common sight to Grok. In fact, you've never seen these guns before. They have some remnants of functionality from the gun you saw Cornell hold, except the magazine shape is really just different. While it does hold its kind of long rectangular shape, same thing as Cornell's gun, the magazine, the gun appears to be more, this one even still is like a long neck shotgun rifle, as three 7-foot tall werewolves aim down sight towards you. No, the beast. They're aiming for the beast. In a flash,
As the magazine-fed rifles they're using are primitive.
a signal you didn't hear
Round for real.
triggers
Sure, with their magazines.
bursts of fire from the front nozzles of these guns, just seeing incendiary rounds fired into the back half of this raw hide of this disgusting, abominable beast. A fire blast. These are bright red energy and concussive breaths of fire coming following these bullets as they pepper the back of the rear of this bull. The impacts of the weight of the impact sends this bull monster onto its side, so even if it would attack you with its reaction, it is now prone. Your ears around you begin to bleed. The sound of those weapons was louder than any that Cornell has ever fired, and by the time your eyes adjust after the flare, these monsters are closer. These wolves are... 2 of them are still the same, one of them looks different. One of them is more human. He's still rocking a kind of 7-ish foot tall form, though you can see there is some height actually descending as he makes his way closer. The 2 monsters, the 2 wolves at the back seem to re-rifle their guns, and you see from the one that looks now more human, he pulls a flask, although it looks to be made of a kind of green glass, and he chucks it. You hear from behind this guy the kind of molten barrel hissing in the cold mountain winds. The guns that they hold, very, very hot at this point. And you watch as a canister, kind of glass with a small wick and flint attached to the side, as it impacts the side, an almost petrol-like kerosene smell. The back half of this bull boiled and blistered from the incendiary rounds fired into its back half. These type of weapons you've not seen on rifles before, ever. A fire crawls and clings to the back half of this bull until its entire rear half is nearly completely burnt and crisped and dead. You hear over the back half sustained so much damage that the back feet just aren't moving, and it's trying to crawl away because it's undead, but the fire is doing its job. And you realize it's more like what he threw was a napalm canister. The smell of kerosene, it's still evolving. The fire is still using the other embers of the incendiary round to build a fire net over this whole thing's back body. That is the last you hear as the form of this bull collapses. And from the mouth of one who looks the more human, though you see that snout is kind of receding. Henrik sent word that there were necromancers to the north. All of you need to look away and step back. And he pulls another canister and throws it to the back of this bull. These have been bright flashes of light. They kind of, every time it blinds you, but the rest of this bull's body, skinless and covered in blood as it was, now is just blackened and completely surrounded in fire, setting the corners of this house where it lies on fire. You see, they breathe heavily, and Grok, you breathe in kind of a rage and also a dazedness. You just got out of it. The mercury bubble, the color decoloration seemed to help, but they were some bright flashes of like incendiary light. They're going to burn your retinas badly. So holding your breath was smart. Closing your eyes, one you weren't prepared for. What are you doing this close to the Rainstone Shrine? You technically still are. It's now Melion's turn. You're right, neither does this initiative.
What if we get in?
No, you can. Still.
Alright, well, I'm gonna cast.
Totally.
Cast fire.
You all look almost too fucked up. Shouldering a rifle.
Oh, shit.
Who are you?
It is not important, and you see there are there's remnants of a vest, like a leather vest that's dark brown, the top half only remains. It was kind of like shoulder pads to this werewolf. And you see he pulls a little like pocket inside of the ripped, torn vest. And you see it's a piece of paper, heavily wilted, and resembles some of the decoloration of like stitched paper. It resembles maybe like a type of dried skin. It reminds you of a book you found inside of a tree in the middle of a wasteland. Book on lullabies. He pulls out a page. I know you don't know me. I have seen him transform before. It was into the most horrible thing. This page, he holds a tiny piece of paper that's kind of unfolded in two parts, but it's still mainly closed. It awoke it in him, but we couldn't read it, nor could he. Centaur, can you understand the language of your people? The wolf slowly, he's talking to himself.
You see my people.
Oh, no.
It's just the dead body of the beast. Do you let him approach you, or do you show that you're defensive?
I drop Grok.
You see Grok is like, he's like starting to glow as infernal healing starts to cover the veins of his body.
I just walk over him and put myself between Grok and him.
Wait, where did we see the hag roll?
She appeared right here, and then when these guys arrived, she was gone. Like, she didn't even jump in the hole, she just disappeared. In the holes. He hands you a folded piece of very old, wilted paper.
I'm like,
This,
Yes, it is in the language of your people. That's why I was just lucky.
like part of it in smoke, so it's not, this is like silver.
The ink might be a bit stained as well. And he walks over to the lump of smoldering flesh, kicks it a few times, makes sure that it's... I am Deucalion. I found Cornell. I found Henrik. His body was half ripped apart, and he regrew things that should not be able to be regrown. When he came to consciousness, it was not him, it was something else, so we caged it behind bars. And we put some ankle bracelet on him. I didn't design it, someone I know did, and it put him in a type of stasis, asleep. I'm assuming by the fact I saw him unconscious over the hag's body, he's been asleep since his cage was destroyed. Apparently it was attacked. He was a prisoner. Henrik. You look at the moon, it's not there.
who the hell are you?
I work
Where did you come from?
for the King's Hounds.
Oh, I got that.
We are a martial force founded in Caligo
I
Valley.
don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know what the King's Hounds are. Why are you here?
Cornell gave reason to people he did not know who he was communicating with that they were necromancers to the far north and a hag.
Did you do this? Cornell's dead.
He's been unconscious for about 3 weeks, which is why we were surprised to hear from his voice. The manacle on his left leg should be keeping him unconscious. We heard his voice. We knew that something was wrong.
No, he's been up. He's walking around. He died like 3 days ago.
What has he done?
He shot a bunch of people.
You see him like put the rifle on the ground, say, puts the rifle on the ground, I am of no threat to you. Cornell he was a valuable member of our community, and he did nothing wrong. The world, whatever he tried to fight, turned him into something dark. And he points to the crown of jagged stones. Whatever she wants with him, she's got to be a cause of the necromancy spreading through Krueler like a virus. It can't be good.
Is gonna start rolling towards the black stone hole.
You hear the grinding of...
Get off that. I got better.
And he's just looking at you now while the centaur reads He's very happy the centaur can read. There's a bit of relief on his face.
So you are from Caligo?
We are an elite division of lycanthropes. We have a person who is very good at hunting lycanthropes, and when we found Cornell, she could not trace the lycanthropy curse to him. Which means whatever he is not.
You found Cornell,
In a mountain crevice where he was missing half of his face. He had no lower jaw, he had no left arm, he had no right leg.
That was 3 weeks ago.
That was verging on 6 months ago.
Okay.
And we caged him, and while his beast form was not a lycanthrope, it was like a evolving mutation on his skin. We kept him in a cage, let it settle down. It never did, so we were sending it to Fort Nagrom. They have some powerful people called the Swords of the Hollow Valley. A few of their higher mages are adept at burning away curses without actually killing him. They are sworn protectors of King Azamar Reeves.
New ally.
They're dicks.
Cool, we killed a bunch of that people.
They tried to kill
Wait, did
us.
Cornell kill?
We both are fire.
No, they were bewitched by like a sorcerer.
No,
that
the other
was
one.
in the. There was like a spirit.
This was the hag's fault.
No,
This was before the hatch.
there were several hags, I think, and also there was like a spirit in Caligo that was
Several hags,
like
I think.
a bunch of. Anyway,
I thought we just killed them because it was fun.
They were protectors of the eastern side of the...
Well, but in your own words, they were dicks.
Just because you're a dick doesn't mean you're not good at your job.
Yes, but they were dicks.
Cornell thought I was a dick. I caged him. What do you think people think of me?
So you think we should kill him?
so he was. A
I'd
beast.
like to see... I don't want to see you
He
try.
was like a beast.
I actually need your help. I'd rather you help first and then we can battle it out afterwards.
well, you guys
He
have
was
a-
a beast in the
I'm
cage.
gonna
I'm
go
gonna
look at
keep
that
this.
thing now.
The problem was that he was supposed to never leave the cage. That cage was magically bound, so was the sleep ankle bracelet thing.
And this all happened in Caligo.
Yes, we sent him through. We have connecting gateways that allow him to basically exit at the rear half of Fort Nagrom and worm his way up, but we lost signal contact with him halfway up the Turtle Lake. Like his carriage.
You have teleportation gateway.
No, we have that, and he points to the throne of jagged glass like a mouth. These are existing ley lines. We call them rainstone crowns. Rhine.
Why are you spelling it for you?
It's weird where we come from. They are not normally black, sifting with smoke. He points to the present one. They are potential gateways for known druids and local beings of power to move between, not...
Very concerning, but we have more important concerns. For example, Grok is turning to a statue. We should probably go to that next type thing and throw in it.
Yeah.
The problem is that it doesn't work very well if you're not cursed. The
Well,
place...
Curse.
Very good.
I could tell that some...
Where did you come? How did you get here? Did you come through the gateway?
No, I came north.
You were just walking.
Oh, sorry, I came south. I journeyed north. No, we thought someone had a loose translation, something about a dream place,
No, it's not important.
and
Please, either give it to me or tell me what it is.
look, honestly, it was only that he looked at it and he started. What is your name? What is your name, Settleman?
My name is
I am Deucalion.
How do you do?
Sure. That book, it was a full book before. We ripped out this page knowing that it would tether him back or something. We're not actually sure what the problem is inside of him. We know that you're looking at that page right now and nothing's happening, right? You're looking at it, you look normal. Cornell looked at it and his arm became 3 times its size. Have you seen that on him before?
He does know something.
That came from that page. The first time he made eye contact with it was when he still was missing an arm and a leg.
What can you do?
I don't know. What does it say? If it helps you where you're going, then it may be important. And while you do that here, you look horribly I don't have cures for curses. He hands you 2 vials. 2 red glowing vials with little green, like sips. It's kind of like Christmas colors floating through it, green and gold.
My kids are freaking out. Can I do a check to see if we're real?
No. The answer is no.
That's a sense mode. Do you want to do it on Decalion?
Just on reality.
Wisdom check on yourself.
Yeah, do a
I just want to be.
What's a perception?
do a perception check or just wisdom if you want to just go more
I
abstract.
think I'll do wisdom even though.
Yeah, abstract the shit out of this statement. Do it. 10.
50-50.
50-50.
You know when Minecraft has some. I'm gonna relate this to this is horrible. I'm gonna relate this to Minecraft.
You're feeding murder stuff.
It's noon, and you're in a pretty high point in a mountain you didn't expect to be. Like the elevation's much colder. The frosts of a light snow fall around you. The problem is that the moment they fall in front of this rainstone shrine, the petals of white or blue, light blue, turn black. And then as soon as they drift past and out of that shrine, out of this crown area here, they go back to being white. Like you're looking at a disrendered color patch directly above, directly above this nexus point, and
Far away at least from the next point.
you're 50-ish feet, and you're looking at that, seeing only specifically when colors go into this field do they change to the reverse. Grok is crawling there right now, and you start to step towards it. Please, no, don't walk away. You're welcome to enter the Nexus, the Rainstone Shrine. Just tell me what it says. We're trying to help Henrik.
Come with me.
Help me either.
This one.
Wait, Cornell's real name is Henrik?
On the way, I'll just use one arm to pick up Grok and carry him with me.
He doesn't like to
Henrik
be.
is his first name. Right.
Doesn't like to be called by his first name. It's a thing where we come from.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's a lot more formal to address people by your first. Yes. Yeah, and above this area. That's why I've been gesturing to it. It looks just like there's some sort of black vapor rising from it, and as that black vapor reaches up, it crisscrosses with snowflakes that become black and then back to white. It's weird.
Black snowflake?
Yeah, just above that shrine.
And it's daylight.
It's daylight.
Okay. I need you to find the exit.
You mean that ugly piece of metal? You hear another form from like literally. You guys are walking towards that shrine. You see there are 2 flanking this position here. Well, this guy, we'll say he's Decalion, who goes ahead. These guys have basically been covering it. They've got rifles, long neck rifles that are at the tops still molten orange and look like they almost can't take that pressure regularly. It looks like the barrel has widened.
More that, people.
You just walk straight towards the entrance. I don't recommend. It's a bad idea. Okay.
Is there no moon in the sky?
Nope. This music. Damn. Kyofu. Kind of. It's supposed to be late game battle music.
All the music in Cyberpunk's black.
It's only good because it's techno.
He has to go in there or he'll die.
The hag just jumped in. What do you... Actually, she didn't jump in. She just disappeared, which could be the same thing.
We have to wait for money.
Okay, what does it say?
With a proud wave crash upon the shore, between suns, then, seeing no more. As darkness deepens, Sephora, nights grow odd where black stars descend, and black snow.
Yep.
And a queer grey moon in the dreamland then. Yet other still, the river remains the lost thing. Balance only, and storage and cool, and the paddock won't home, fallen sea. Take it to my heart, full sea. Soul of my soul, my voice lost. Eric Sunstone is and then underneath it is a full hole. Don't look at the moon.
Okay, well, none of them meant anything to me. I'm gonna jump in the hole.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that we should only do this when
I jump in the hole.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is just.
What's in the hole?
think I failed.
It looks just like a literal black slurning, like churning. It is an end portal.
Oh, sick.
What you're noticing is that, I mean, you saw in your first battle with that literal skeletal form, it seemed to like burst out of a tar, like liquid. That was really hot.
Yeah,
This, as you get closer to it, it gets colder and colder. You're inches away from this thing, and it suddenly feels like you've entered Arctic temperatures. Just
it's pretty clear to me what we have to do.
feet away from the throne.
Under descending, the moon
Right.
is down.
Let's say,
It gets cold.
Father, take the wheel.
Okay.
Where
Moki, make a reflex save. This is
I'll
to grab
do what
him.
I just did.
And I was gonna say, just do another reflex save. Contested reflex.
Reflex save.
Yep. He does the turnaround piece and just.
Oh, Father, take
There's no splash of liquid. It actually looks like
Cicero, are you okay?
it looks like he submerges in a black fog that kind of slightly billows up more. It's fog. It's a mist. But you see,
I like fall backwards too.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
fall
not
backwards.
Like dropping.
I like that he
oh, he's gone already.
Put his iron rod into the ground.
Iron
And
rod.
tie the iron rod.
Grok, we have to wait
Tie it
till
up
dusk.
himself.
If we don't wait till dusk, I think we die. Or become
What is it? This means nothing to me. You should have told me. I heard what you said, but it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, look, the twin suns descending means when the sun descends, when darkness begins.
We don't have twin sons.
I'm coming, Cicero! He jumps in with the rope.
Is that literal? Shit!
I'm coming.
You see Grok not even like bent downwards. His body goes out like vertically, it just falls 5 feet.
Save again.
There's
Fucking
a
get
rope.
him.
There's a rope.
There's a rope.
Oh, I grabbed the rubber and I pull you up.
It's tied.
It's tied to the pole, which is next to a crystal. So
Pull you out.
okay.
You jump in immediately. Stop.
So
Get the rubber. Go.
so make a strength check.
I'll use
Hard strength check. Grok,
17.
just make a reflex save.
That's a 10.
10. Okay.
Let me
Um,
try.
Can you pass me the sheet on how your rope works?
Where does your rope go?
Just
Yeah.
It's just a rope wall.
just an iron rope.
There aren't many.
It's a strong
There
rope.
aren't many things that can cut this rope.
It can be cut 3 times.
Okay.
Let me
Um,
try.
Can you pass me the sheet on how your rope works?
Where does your rope go?
Just
Yeah.
It's just a rope wall.
just an iron rope.
There aren't many.
It's a strong
There
rope.
aren't many things that can cut this rope.
It can be cut 3 times.
It can be cut 3 times.
Nice. You being cut.
Okay.
It's made out of iron.
Okay.
My bad.
Am I the only one who takes creaky warning seriously?
Yes.
Moki,
Yes.
you rip, and you get
I only take them seriously
You get
if I read them myself.
50 feet of iron rope out of 75 feet. You pull. It's just a 50-foot long rope.
Commit suicide in front of me.
The end of that rope is just like a small cut piece.
You cut.
Like you smoldered between dimensions and cut the rope. Next time, almost a good idea. No, for next time.
Like, if I didn't have 7 charisma, I would have stayed and talked to these guys.
Level 3. Let's see how you got going. Level 3.
I don't have any good.
Hey man, that's totally the problem.
13 charisma and a dream.
That would have saved your life.
Viruses and cancer. Yeah.
When I have giga cancer in 90% of my body.
Maybe I could fix it.
Literally everything in this fucking thing says it's a bad idea, and I'm only gonna change it when all the fucking things were.
If there is a doorway on the if there is a doorway on the other side, you just come back right here, and we can help you. We are.
If it is a doorway, it's currently closed, or if it's not closed, it goes to somewhere worse.
So
I don't know.
if you can get back Cornell and yourselves, go to the Caligo Grove. Go to the southern side of the Caligo Valley. There are safe people there that can hold his body long term.
Wait, I'm not put it yet.
No. No. if you retrieve Cornell's body. That is the only reason I am helping you. I am invested in his safety. That is why I gave Melion 2 healing potions.
The fuck is that?
I take a deep sigh, rolls up, put it in my belt.
You're in an execution.
He grabs you, you see hair start
I
to
grab it.
elongate. With him?
Yes.
You could have seen this coming.
I appreciate you. Oh!
That's a grapple. I mean,
I'm not even going to make you roll for the grapple, and I think you've also got the band, the rope that makes you like have like 10 times the strength of pull. So just do a regular, not a grapple check. You know, like a lift check. What's a good lift check?
If you want my, I can fully lift him up of my head.
Yeah. Let's say.
in a house with this.
Let's say.
For some reason.
You know what? It doesn't matter. I rolled a 3, so he's in.
Aw, poor boy.
Let's just say strength.
That's actually 10.
Well, my bad.
7.
Yeah, plus whatever. Strength 5, 12.
He does have a strength of +5 with his wolf form, so. The sound is muffled and then.
I will be letting go of him as we fall.
Fair enough.
I don't like him at you.
You're hearing echoes of sound that almost sound like wails. If they're so muffled, you're just hearing it enter and then leave. A sound that is just vibrating the brain until when you're going through, your arms become longer, your tail gets longer, your legs get longer. You feel like the person you're with suddenly shrinks. He gets very small. And he realizes that too, because he starts to like wiggle. You realize like it's like holding a toddler. And then there is a kind of a growing of energy, a friction you feel as you get larger and he gets smaller. Then there is a cut. Like you lose it completely. Like where you go when you feel yourself fall through free fall.
Small enough, right? Be in the one bite I will.
Imagine how much nutrition this man's got.
Make an attack roll. Make an attack roll. You're not joking? You're joking. I guess that'd be pretty funny.
Say something right now.
I ate him.
Monkey just arrives with a lower jaw that's just like.
Cast command eat.
Oh no!
Melion,
No, I have to.
you feel gravity hit you, so as you fall backwards, suddenly there is like an immense pressure that's kind of keeping you up in the air, like you press to the top of a glass ceiling, and then just let go. It's like a nightmare. You fall maybe 150 feet through the air. Falling that lasts 6 seconds, sure. But then it lasts like 12 seconds. And then you realize it's more like you're falling 500, 600, 800 feet. Stretching what you think, because you almost feel like you hit a surface, and then you go through it, and it's just as not dense as what you just went through, like you fell through fog, like through layers of clouds, of mist. Your arm tingles. The parts of you that have become metal start to like taste different. The air is bitter but sweet. Then right above you, there is another metal bowling ball. You feel your body splash. There is something wet and dense, and it kind of feels like you're just falling into a mosh pit, but that is wet. It has all of the sponginess of taking that brute fall, and instead of feeling like you're submerged in water, you feel like you've just made a mud pit. A deep, deep mud pit, and then a bowling ball lands beside you, and suddenly your form is kind of like rocketed upwards a little bit, and then 10 or so seconds later, Grok, you splash, you land, and it is soft but wet. It is cold, but the taste in your mouth is bitter and sweet, kind of like honey with that bit more limey taste, and then kind of a burn, a long drawn out paprika burn. Moki.
A lot of flavors happening right now.
A lot of flavors. Your mouths are both covered in metal, so it's all weird. You land and subjugate these two in one kind of nest to a forceful elevation to a surface that you weren't really prepared for. And basically, it's black liquid. It's a liquid surface that feels a lot more like you're stepping through thick, wet mud. It has some give. When your whole body lands in it, you sink. You sink 15 feet down. For the both of you, you sink roughly 20 feet with another impact, and then there's a body beside you that isn't in this hole that seems to push you up as he goes down. And you realize that in that moment you're coming up, there is the top half of a boat that is old and wilted wood that has really, really fine filigree that Melion can see as elvish, or really, really old elvish. It's very rusted. It looks copper or bronze. No. And as that boat splashes, right beside you there is a old, half blackened shell of a boat that is not filled with liquid. And when Moki and Corner and Deucalion seem to come together, waking but also crawling off of each other to get up, there is a kind of how could you do this to me? I'm fine. I thought my curse wasn't deep enough. It's a lot more natural than I... Curse works. You hear...
I'm gonna kill him.
As a body beside you, you're kind of waking up half upside down, horse body. You spun. No. You felt a very aggressive impact, and you can hear them kind of like emerging onto a surface that you can see Deucalion is climbing up towards.
What the fuck? We're gonna have a full 12 hours of just rest before we have to do this. But no, you jump down and 1 hour's gonna be fucked up.
You guys aren't ready for this battle?
This flailing. It's gonna take me a week to fully heal. I don't know now.
That makes sense. People aren't built for fighting every day. It's not how this world works.
Nah, they're good.
Nah.
Grok,
You would kill 57
It's
children.
not like another 9 hits.
Yeah.
so somehow half submerged, but then
Children are
uprooted.
zero. With the punches.
Beside you, Grok, even as your hands and feet, your hands only go about wrist deep into the mud when you're on a steady surface.
Go to a clean knowledge check.
That's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, attacks up, too.
Okay, that's a 27. Oh my god, we got a 19.
At this point, you are kind of in a deep vacuum. There is black surface of liquid. The liquid surface you're in, this mud, seems to encompass every horizon line. There is... It looks like a black hole inside of a black hole. Except...
Who's that with that?
Well, it looks like 2 bright orange golden rings that encompass each other, that sit on the horizon line, and the only way you can see it is that the second sun you can't see at the moment. It is just one kind of upper ring encompassed by darkness. The horizon line bows downwards in a direction where you can see, Moki, as you climb up, there is you can walk in this, although it feels like tough mud and kind of like it never hardens, but it also is thick constantly. There is a boat. There's a boat, and it is so rusted and old, it is covered in shit, clearly. There is one oar. One.
Boat made of metal.
The upper frame, not the bottom frame.
Because they wanted to do the pack.
Except for that wooden boat. That we have the 2 wooden boats that
not
we
how
used to
boats
carry you.
work.
Well, that's a fisherman-sized boat. That's a bit bigger than a small wooden boat. And
Depending on carrying capacity, not that material.
I will flail my way to until I realize I can just stand up.
Average alcohol.
Sir, but I'll check to gain perception of the area.
The fact that you have no idea where you are only tells you that there is what you jumped into is not in the world that you came from.
You know, this area is 6 levels too high for us.
This road might be something.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Vomit up.
You vomit up, but there's also some metal. Some of that stuff comes out as well.
So you can play that game.
Nice.
lame.
So as you spend 5 minutes retching, vomiting out black goo, blood, and you know this stuff is kind of, even the mud, it's gross. It's sweet.
I eat them up.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's sweet.
Just throw off and then eat more and then throw off.
Yeah, it's sweet. That's the problem, is that even the air, the oxygen you breathe in has a sweet bitterness to it. The ground is just kind of like a dull sweetness.
Sticking to me.
Not really. But it's like, you're walking in it, you know, so it's there until you step out of it. Not, like, you have a kind of dim glow of orange from one side, and that's revealing a black sky. There is nothing.
I've got my bearings of it. I'm sorry, Mr. Howard. I didn't get
I'm so glad you decided to come with us.
I am one of the spears of the hounds of the king. I'm not supposed to be. I have 2 lackeys that I'm supposed to be training.
Right. Well,
They'll figure it out on the job.
I was hoping this would be just a giant well.
What is this
You're very honest.
elf?
This is very novel. You know, it probably wouldn't have what you said it was if we actually.
What the page said a lair, didn't it?
No, it's not. This layer is not even a word in here.
You're right.
Let me read this book.
Which
I use my elf eyes.
I have come for my repayment.
Repayment. That goes. It's you're just in a big mud landscape right now.
Yeah, that could be fucking giant ass wolf creatures or tentacle creatures that could just kill us.
I know the rules of magic,
Magic.
No, you don't.
and for everything you use has a price.
You have most of that. That's it.
If you don't repay me, I pity your soul. Alright, let's get out of here.
Yes, how shall we get out of here?
Let me. What do my elf eyes see?
Deucalion just rolls onto the boat.
Have your rope. There is no rope to get out of here.
You see
Undo his armor.
on the boat there is some description. Okay, you start to take off your armor. You can only do the upper half. Your lower half in some areas is fully submerged and getting your feet out. You're looking.
We need to make sure the sun's descending and that's what we'll wait.
Give me a second. I've been reading.
When you were looking up, the sun in the material was at the east, and now when you're looking, the sinking suns are to the right. They seem flipped over. So you head the other way. You begin to kind of like loosely pull. Grok is getting onto the boat. Melior is like beside it, trying to read really rusted descriptions.
Don't read.
You see, it reads in. You get basically all of it, and it is rusted away. So there is some parts where you don't really understand the touring craft of Sephira.
Is it tour boat?
Just a boat.
I think it's a boat.
It's the one that's on that map there. It's maybe 20-ish feet long, 25-ish feet long at the tip, and it has one visible oar. Yeah, it looks like a bronze or copper cover that has been heavily rusted.
It's small for me.
It can fit a centaur as just the front half of the boat. Yeah. Moki starts to walk, and Deucalion starts to like push the boat along. It's like, I'm not walking this whole way. Fuck this shit.
The boat isn't mentioned in this.
Where are we going?
Whatever happened.
Deucalion's like half transformed, just looks at you with just such like, a questioning intelligence. Just
When you enter these strange situations and you have a little poem or book, follow that to the letter, or you're gonna get eaten.
have you ever followed a poem into a different world?
One. I was a child, one.
Well, you're sensible. I should have guessed.
Just sit down at the bar.
He's pushing it.
Is there any
Just
like
end the
or
work
anything?
like
or-
that.
What is
We
it?
went
Sorry.
and walked
Is
him.
it a
Sit down and pull out a
or is
book.
it an orc?
Yeah, it's really lucky.
Ore.
I guess it's order. Okay.
There is one
There
ore.
is ore.
Rock will try to use the oars to help.
Ore. You can move the one. You can use the one ore,
You guys following me or going?
and it's like just trekking in mud. You've got Deucalion pushing at your back, and you're gonna just follow Moki.
Being enclosed with the one book. Is it dimly lit? Brightly lit by these rings?
The horizon rings create basically dim light in the sky. Where you are at ground level, it's basically completely black. But the upper, like if there was distant hills, you may be able to see it. At this point, you can't.
Guys, when the suns descend, make sure that you do not look at the moon.
You don't see a moon right now.
Yeah, cool. Don't look at the moon when there is one. Don't look at it, or bad things will happen.
What's this?
Just a warning. Don't look at the moon. It's obviously bad will happen to the moon.
Okay.
My whole year is one moon. I can't get any more.
Just do it a year.
You can look at a page and it can curse you. This whole world's fucked.
Well, this poem reckons soul, so if you want to keep your soul, don't look at the moon.
I probably already sold that.
Soul's a myth. Just like
How do we get out of
What
here?
about your voice?
it's been debated. They curse your body, not your
We
soul.
have to find tatted yellow thorns, and under that will be
It's fucking alchemy, dude.
something. It doesn't really say what, but we go there.
You say thorns?
Tatted yellow thorns
Yeah,
of the
the
thorn
thorns.
boon. Do not touch the thorns. That's from the
Don't
thorn
touch-
of the thorn boon. That's from the bad.
The fallen sounds like someone who's
Soul.
sunken into the mud like us.
I'm not quite sure.
Maybe we're the fallen.
But
We did
can I do
both.
a tribe check if I to know
Do
more
a
about
tribe
I know
check on
roughly.
fallen.
I know bad news. That's it.
Yeah, you're gonna get a really high roll on tribe to get a basically the equivalent of a religion check. Yeah.
Can I roll a perception check?
Why?
To see the fallen right now? I'm looking at.
All I know is that he's sort of evil and bad news. What else do I know?
Yeah, roughly. That
Do I know it's like fleshy or like it's all like loyal?
there was. All you know is that it's another one of those really bad stories that comes from it comes from a curse placed on people, people that were tired of being belittled by other people's power. So even though they became cursed, they became super defiant. And then one person sought to be so defiant that she would curse herself. This is just the story that you heard. She would curse herself with the power of infinite darkness to banish the thing that was cursing them. Turns out she just became infinite darkness, and then this is like the symbol of a dot, a black dot in wall carvings that describe the fallen as just darkness. The woman became infinite darkness off a bargain that is not really stated, but she sought darkness, became darkness, and then didn't solve the problem that she was intending to solve in the first place. That's the fallen, aka, I'm not going to say that's sexist.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Got that.
I think her being a woman had anything to do with it.
Yeah, well, you know.
Do I know Hanspurus?
Hanspurus?
Yeah, they're like a star from it.
That's Pathfinder. Hanspurus is a god of the pantheon. He's the god of no, not the Fey pantheon. Although there is some resemblance. He is the feature. He's the features of a rat in a humanoid body. Something more Fey, like elf, but something also just mutated.
Do any of you know
the
Alex
temple-
from Hanspurus, the god?
No.
He's the rat god.
In a temple in Warnhold, just
We
outside
need
of
to sing
Krueler.
songs that he might sing.
Right, do you know any?
Oh,
No.
praise the rat lord.
He's basically the god of smuggling, underwater travel, and death.
Rats. We are
Praise
the rats. Rats.
The harbingers and keepers of death. and smuggling
I
people.
hate you guys so much.
Look, we have to do this if we want to find the There's pawns.
It maybe would work if you actually could sing.
Well, you guys want to sing like a sea shanty? I don't know
There has to be something that Hesper might sing himself.
Underwater channels.
Alright.
It's that's a part of sea.
Just give me a moment while I find a royalty-free sea shanty.
Wow, you're really committing. You're really committing.
I start singing just Elvish songs just
Did
randomly.
you know sea shanty was rat?
I think this is like a tour book for the Sephora.
No, we thought.
What's Sephora?
I don't know.
Well, Sephiroth is the place.
Anything of the Sephora thing.
That's Sephiroth.
This is Sephiroth. It's referencing the problem.
Where is Sephora right now?
Sephora doesn't sound like the Isora thing. That's Sephiroth. That's referring to like divine beings.
I would spell it in common, but I don't know in common.
Sephora sounds like a noun, like a proper noun, like a place. Sephora.
Yeah, where is it?
And
Why it
you,
smells horrific here.
as you were saying
Well,
that,
there's 27 different smells. of
Million,
something.
you're so perceptive.
Has the sun gone down at all?
The sun has dimmed slightly more, but you're now noticing on the horizon line there is opposite direction. So exactly where the light is kind of projecting towards a mouth, like a jaw. No. It is a row of spiky, jutting rock mountain curves. That's ahead of you. No, it's black. It's without color right now, and that is what you're heading toward. There's a shape in the distance, and you're approaching it. It's maybe 500 feet away by boat.
We're drawing crowds, not for sure. We're going in the right direction.
Oh guys, I found a sea
I'm
shanty.
gonna pull out the Pathfinder,
Does it all right?
It does.
and I'll attempt to find water.
Alright.
Okay.
are poor, we are the rats.
So, what can you do with a drunk sailor? What can
He
you
does
do with
he
a
did a
drunk
basic white
sailor?
bitch
What
voice.
can you do with a drunken sailor? And lying
I'm not a sailor, but I know that song.
You should do this on
You
the
know about that song?
Everybody knows that song. They sing it in taverns.
I remember
It's the very
he
simple.
sang it just before we killed
Well, and nothing happened. Maybe we gotta sing another one.
No.
The sky is dimming. That's been a consistent play, but
We-
it's kind of as Grok sings, the light gets dimmer
After the
still.
moon comes up.
After the moon comes out, then we'll be able to see the yellow moon.
Melion, Cicero. Yeah, that's still sticking with me. I didn't think it would. You hold it out, and
Made
your
such a huge impression.
curvature of your device, the device Cornell found, it's not yours, it's his. Don't take credit, you bitch.
In my bag. Plus he's dead, so.
Well, sure. See about that. You
No, he's a little fucking man.
see your little contraption do like a 180. There is no changing in its coloration. I think it remains a stagnant blue. Actually, no. I think all of this counts as liquid. So yeah, this would all be red.
There is water here.
As you watch Moki, it's pretty dark. You watch Moki
Eating it. the whole fucking time.
sift like this. You see there's a bit of murky like brownness, like kind of mud.
I'll reach out the bar.
Sure. You're noticing that there is, like oil, there is a layer where the sediment is at the bottom, and there is this like thin, but actually decently thick, visibly thick layer of a transparent liquid on top of this murky stuff. But it's like oil, it's not it's above it all.
Smell neutral. Alright.
Yep. It smells kind of sweet.
I have so much trash.
You're getting a little bit of like a muddy taste, but it's mainly sweet. It's sweet water. It actually quenches your thirst. You're not as parched as you were before.
No,
Someone
water.
that's fainter or
Only one direction.
It actually feels also maybe even a bit cleaner than where you were before.
So, tinted white and black stuff.
No, I think there's like a centimeter layer of this water. Like rose water.
Alright, I'll give you a moment.
Brock will shape the traveler's tool into another ore. So now we have two.
You just like, you bend it and extend it and it becomes like a twist, it twists all the way until it's like wrung the most wood out you can possibly get. And then
Alright, you can start pushing the ship and help me all.
flattening the end, there is a tiny little oar tip to the edge of your really long stick now. it's just enough. Like really, it's multi-purpose. It couldn't do an oar, but you basically got like a shovel version of an oar, which does the same thing.
Shovel or thing.
Basically. So you speed up a tiny bit. And you get close. I told you he would fuck me! Sound you really didn't need to hear. Words you didn't really want to hear. It's blocked. There is things ahead of you that are shadowed by pointy spires, like teeth. You're seeing a mouth in the form of a bridge. Well, there's no color, these teeth are black, but maybe. You see behind those teeth something tall and black raise into the sky, like your first dream, and is flung. Which make an attack roll for it.
Am I under the
You could say, sure.
Okay, the hag
So sure.
took Cornell Soul and is not even know.
Right. Well, you know what?
That's an unfortunate fate.
I'll lift up spirits with my shading over.
I owe
What about my lovely
Shailene this
scene
much.
that I've been doing this whole time.
Nah, you could just go, oh, have you heard the news, my Johnny?
20 to hit.
One more day, we're homeward bound tomorrow. One more day, only one more day, me Johnny, one more day. Oh, rock and roll me over, one more day.
Replace joining
Don't
flat
you
deal.
hear
Okay.
the old man growling?
Okay.
Don't you hear me
Sing this
make
whole
a
thing
howling?
You see,
Don't you hear the
as he's singing, it starts to like spatter with little tiny bits of bark. You're getting pelted, like little bits around you. Like there's no tree and it wasn't raining, but you did see an object lift in the distance, and then suddenly it's like over all of you there is this mist of bark bits, little bits of wood raining all over you.
I descended in part of the poem. I don't think
Is there going to be a crown?
Only one more day
And then-
of rolling. One more
And you see over your
Wait a
heads
second, we're getting it done.
these wings, large wingspans that you don't notice because they're completely black in this lightless color, but you notice that there are green eyes. Across this wingspan, there are dozens, literally dozens of eyes. The wingspan stretches out and they are glowing dots of eyes. And it flies above and over your heads, over towards what you can see. It's revealing a kind of, it's like the end of a bank where you're coming to, except there are jagged pieces of rock that are angled downwards and upwards. You're seeing like a row of teeth, a bridge of spikes and thorns, and you see this bird creature lands at the top of one of those as well. Yeah, yes. When we're all mic'd up, roll initiative.
I missed the block.
Wait, hold on.
Flower.
Good.
19.
Got 7.
Okay. 7, 11. Okay, Moki was 11?
I was a 7.
You were the 7. Grok was 11. 11. Grok, what is your initiative bonus? Plus 0?
Yep.
Okay, you are 1 below the hag.
The hag is faster than
She does have a +1 to her initiative.
How you know? How you know that?
She does have a 16 dex.
How you know that?
Damn.
Pain, your dex score.
Actually, they don't like shadows.
23.
You shadows and
It's there. 17. Damn.
23.
23? Shit, sorry, you rolled nat 20.
she's only got like 4.
Cicero.
Can't wait for it to be winner.
My heart has stopped. Oh, that's...
I do game bad, so you die fast. Okay.
Now we go.
This happened to me. I have 3 hit dice. I will instantly die.
You have 2 vials of potions you could have drunk while you were walking, while you were
Oh
swimming.
yeah, I'm missing 3 HP. Which I can't regain
I
back.
mean, for the one who actually looked like he was like.
I will
I
roll
didn't
for
give it to
it.
him.
How much is it?
I didn't give it to him.
You can not roll. I'll want.
Okay, so technically 2 different potions. One is 1d8, one is 2d8. No modifier. These are the new healing potion rules.
1d8, just that.
Just 1d8.
I have 1 HP. Wow.
You can spend You can spend an entire round full round action to get a full result. You don't roll. And this was stated in episode 6. There's 2 potions.
You can have one of the first.
You can decide not to actually use that roll and just drink the whole thing in the pre-process. So the other one is 2d8. 2d8.
He just dumped the 1d8 one.
I'll do what he didn't do.
Fully down, so 16 HP.
So you have 7 HP.
I have DP.
That's like a big man. Yeah, 7.
Alright. I'm still.
You're still bad. You're all not doing well. This was meant.
I'm fine.
These were backup potions in case you were wounded. I didn't realize you were so badly wounded. Oh, this is not going to do well.
Fine.
What is that thing?
Quick, shoot it.
I'm going to stop forward. Oh, hey, do you have a gun?
I left it back. Moki pulled me through. Brandt like babbling as he tries to,
I brought my gun. So.
My gun was my best feature. He's now slightly glowing, a kind of faint yellow aura 2 inches away from his body. And it was only after this thing flew over him. And you saw literally like dozens of eyes across its wings. That was that same resonating color. Resonating.
Alright, I will jump down the boat.
Blush, blush. It's even less, it's not as deep as you expected. It was 5 feet before, now it is like 2.5 feet deep.
Does it hamper my movement? Considering that's up to my waist, then I'm pretty sure so.
2.5 feet, yeah. Yeah.
I will sprint over to this rock. And at my turn.
You notice as you're getting close, there is like a type of very, very ancient green,
Can you move me?
bald, far to the right. Far to the right.
No, it's behind them.
Up and over.
Behind them compared to the bird.
You have,
So, just off the map. Put me off the map. Behind that rock. There you
of course you want to go off the map,
Thank you.
bitch.
This is very slow.
Yeah, and the liquid kind of curves around. It is kind of that like protruding right angle, like flow of liquid that in that direction. It dries up as you're coming to the edge of it, where there is a bank.
Does anybody know what this thing is? I say something.
Cornell, you hit that woman, and the tree that you hit her with seemed to splinter, and then it just broke around her, rolled backwards, and then shattered against the. You're definitely through with way more force than you expected, but then also gravity seemed to just pull that branch past her head, over her head, and continuing horizontally outwards, shattering, spraying these guys with wood. You kind of had the advantage on her, so when she turns around, what the hell? She says. When you. Yeah, she got a 10 in initiative. She would be basically, yeah, right here. So when you shattered the kind of the wood spurts went everywhere. I'll put her on the map because she is there. Heavy metal.
Oh my god, she's so tall.
She is like attached to a tree. You see that you kind of broke that off of her, but her body naturally kind of and easily hangs out of loose branches, and you're getting a glow in your sight. This skull, it's the same, it's bigger than her head, it's glowing with a brighter color than her whole body, and it's floating around her head like this. So you, even in darkness and she's trying to take cover, you very easily tell that there's something circulating her. You feel energy breathe through you, more oxygen than your body could normally take. It kind of like pumps all of the body parts up that need to hear, see, smell. No. Directly, no. There is basically a tree around her, and then you use that tree that you threw as a kind of like a line of sight cover, so you could immediately dart away if you plan to.
I will.
Yeah. 30, how much? 40. Right. Do you want to go further out or stay inside? Further out, yeah. Right on the edge. Oh, no, man. It's okay, it's turn.
Right.
Get up.
I can do up to 6 then.
He will jump off the boat and does exactly what Melion does and just goes. Cicero doesn't know his name. Pulls mud and junk out of the water, out of the mud pool, getting to the side. Where are you? You're not hiding. You're just like basically banking yourself.
I mean, I'm crouching behind the rock.
You're crouching. You've just
But I
banked
can't
yourself.
hide.
Right.
Oh, no, I can. It's a free action. I will hide. Okay.
Glad you knew that. He steps over you. You are very aware that you're hidden from the threat. You're not hidden from your friends. And this guy's not your friend, and is very much kind of.
Not very well hidden.
You're just kind of like crouched, and a massive giant woven foot lands like 3 inches away from you. Just, sorry. Just steps over you, kind of like pirouetting. Very, very dexterous.
You can distract it.
That is, it is now Grockus' turn. You heard Cornell yelling from you in the straight, like through that cove where you see jagged bits of glass or something hang down. There's something.
Grok is gonna pull out his phone.
When there's something.
As Grok will go.
If you like. Right, water.
Boys, I
Okay.
need to shoot that bird.
And give me a bit.
Grok starts to fiddle with the thing as Grok will cast.
Fiddle with the thing.
Grok's just carving strange symbols as his circuitry is entering
As you grind on it, like faint yellow like strands
into the hole.
into the harpoon. Okay.
That's my spell. That's my turn. That's a whole action.
All right.
You did it.
Your weapon on you is beginning to glow.
Now, that's a very good spot.
And Grok, there's something at your waist that goes, and that is just telling you that there is something of yours very close in proximity that it could not register at all, being on a different plane, being across a lake. You can't see it, but your device is registering that there is a resonating vibration that it is aware of and is familiar with. Could be anything. Moki, your turn.
Kill it.
Anything.
Nothing kill it.
Difficult terrain in this?
Yes. Well, for you, maybe not. It's only like
Want me to do a check to see?
it's 2.5 feet deep. So I would actually just say no because you're just so long-legged. Like your lower half doesn't actually touch the surface of this water.
This dragony type thing.
It's a dragon.
Yeah, it's a big-ass bird with
an ancient red
glowing eyes on its wings. Yeah,
I'm
what's
gonna
up?
Do a quick,
Yeah, what's up?
As a free action.
What's
Hey,
up?
What's up?
Rage, increasing my hit points. And
I
Nice.
die.
shit.
Nice.
I won't die. I promise.
Prepare to die. That's the song that just turned on.
Okay. And then I am going to run. Bruh.
Bruh.
5.
Bruh.
And,
Bruh.
20. I'm gonna jump up here.
Okay, so there is a slight more difficulty because of obviously the mud you're jumping out of to get up to a higher surface. No worries. DC.
How high is it actually?
That's a like 10 that's a 10-ish foot
10?
climb.
Normally the DC is, if I want to do a vertical jump, I have to get, if it's vertical, double, well, I have to get double the amount on the roll.
So
But
10
if you
feet,
add like another
20.
5,
I was gonna add 2,
oh,
so 22.
okay. So I have to get a 22. I did a running start. I have a plus 19 for this.
Okay, so you need a 1.
I got a natural 1. I failed.
That one, holy crap! You make it. You make it all the way, and you think you've gotten enough, but that back foot was more plunged in the mud than you
Fucking
thought.
body slam and fall back.
You get coat hanged by the top half of that bridge.
Road.
Your human body gets ribbed by the layers of stone, aged stone that are held together.
I was so confident. Like,
You.
That one.
That's it.
95% chance of success. Marky.
99.
Okay, so I fell on my ass.
You land back. I'm in that one. You're prone.
prone.
Your lower half is almost fully submerged in the muck,
Right.
which is okay. You don't feel. It's just cool. It's just really cold. And
I'm gonna use a.
you're currently out of eyesight for the monster you were trying to attack. So that's the other
That was
difference.
my. I'm gonna use a stand action, not be prone.
Okay.
And that up I do.
You suck yourself out of the mud mess, and that bird creature's one eye is like you're like its head is turned to you. There's no eye there. Its whole wing is above it with like dozens of eyes, just all one wing upwards, all eyes facing down at you.
Screw you, bird. My bird's healing.
Screw you, bird.
You'll move even more where you go. Oh, that's
Oh, that was my whole turn.
Oh, okay,
I
takes
can't
your-
do anything else.
takes your action to do that. Right? Oh.
Well, yeah.
What yeah? Okay. This is actually a free action. I've been realizing. I'm not doing that. No, not one. It tries to flash, like all of those eyes on one of its wings flash towards you. It's trying to flash you specifically, and you manage. Roll a natural one. That glow doesn't attack you like you were expecting it to. Like the flares. You're under it. You're basically covered. You see it like it bends down at you as if like it gets to the edge, leans down its lower neck, its long beak protrudes almost touching your like half of your back thigh, and then like it doesn't fully register that you're there. Snap towards where you see there's like a wolf man who's like tiptoeing around a corner and then just like looks up.
Glowing.
There's a little like fuzz of glowing color on him that shouldn't be there, and then you see this thing just dive at him. Like there is no upwards momentum. It just forward horizontally plunges towards Deucalion. Deucalion. Luckily, its crit range is an 18 to 20, and I rolled a 17, so he's not getting his heart. Cicero, it is your turn. The bird is right above you. Its beak right in front of the face of Deucalion, who is holding it. It's like an ibis or any large pelican, just a disgustingly long beak.
That is not playing me either.
Nope.
Right, I'm gonna.
Sister boy.
He's
Get
very
it,
close to me.
sissy,
I'm
sister.
gonna move
Ha.
around him. I'm gonna use acrobatics to go through his square without taking attack of opportunity.
Okay. Do a sideways pirouette,
The DC
rotating.
is a combat maneuver defense.
Okay.
For
Deucalion?
A 16. No, that's for the third
Combat
maneuver defense.
CMD?
Yep. Does 16 beat it?
Nope.
Okay, it gets an attack of opportunity and then recruits.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. Is this against a trip?
No.
No.
It's an acrobatic.
It just says brackets 25 versus trip.
No.
So. Luckily, it's not that high.
It still gets to kill me.
Still gets to kill you. It's going to use one of its... I love how this thing, like, you watch its arm, one of its claws, not the beak, extend outwards, and then you see the three claws, like, bend together and form one large knuckle that attacks you. Brute force, not piercing. That's not the best. That's a +3, that's a 14.
Oh my god, out of the way!
Its gore is a +9.
Yes, I didn't get killed instantly! Alright.
The large, like, raptor hand reaches over, but it becomes like a hoof or a knuckle.
Okay, as it goes past, I'll grab onto it and I will pull out my knife at the same time and stab it in the fucking shin.
Okay.
Okay, so I might get sneak attack for the literal first time this entire game. 18 to hit.
Its AC is 17.
Oh my god, guys, sneak attack!
Really?
Literally the first time this entire
Wittily?
game!
Wittily?
Literally. Oh, not bad,
Actually,
actually.
from Pathfinder, this is the first time you've done speak that.
Yep. 12 points of piercing damage.
Damn!
I will cut off.
You stab, carve up, and just split the lower foot in half. Like it's non-functional. He just screeches and reels back. You can see all of those wing eyes blinking aggressively. Blink, 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 blink.
Keep distracting it, or it will kill me instantly. That's the end of my turn.
Nice. Very nice. Cornell, you hear Cicero yell that. You're kind of understanding that it's an annoyingly familiar voice starting to come back to you. You hear quietly, "This little," and then it steps where it was here and starts to go like this way. I'm feeling it like around. Wait, did you move?
I moved to get one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he was gonna push it away from where you were, but now you've moved behind it, so it's kind of just like trying to see where you are while it's fighting, so it can know what's happening.
Stay there.
Oh, I couldn't see you, it's too dark here! Snap!
I need you to stay right there. Please do not
Shoot him in the brain.
get eaten. While he's eating you, I will cut him. Okay.
Okay.
Or Moki will run over and watch it. I would prefer that, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, but...
You can 1v1 her, right?
Definitely.
Just kill her.
I have the same one.
That's good.
Grok, are you in the boat?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Grok, you see from nowhere, fucking nowhere,
I fail that.
right here,
That would definitely fail that.
there was a body in her grasp before. And there's this body that was clutching onto it. It was long gone. She is now hunched, her body curled over, looking at Moki, who a second ago was very much unaware that she was there. To you, Grok, she wasn't there. She just appeared. Her body was already cloaked in shadow, but you're starting to see long hair hang down inches away from where Moki is, and in a 6-second period, he doesn't seem aware of it. And you just see one long hand hang over his head, and you see kind of this reddish light, like a heat lamp, over Moki.
Heat lamp.
Since she's crouching down, Jake,
Yep.
I get the disadvantage of range attack.
No.
She's not in mount.
She is not. She's not. She is in touch range. She has to be. So she's 10 feet away.
She is a plus minus depending on the higher elevation.
That is
I need the high ground.
I feel range back up.
Okay. Moki, I need you to roll me a DC 16 Fortitude saving throw.
Fortitude?
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Don't get on that one. Just don't fail them all.
You ask and it shall.
21. Damn. Oh, fucking 57.
You.
Plus one.
Fair enough. You feel a comfortable level of warmth from above you, except the feeling is more of it it's warm in a kind of cozy, drowsy type of way. It warms you like you would going to bed in a weird way. It's a heat that's lulling you into a sense of weakness. So that is her turn. It's now Grok's turn. You would have lost 2d4 strength
Oh,
shit! If you failed that.
Oh, that's fine. You don't need to.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that sucked. You succeeded.
But now you know she's above your head with a hand that's kind of reaching at you.
I hope she doesn't do that to me. Whacking range.
I'm gonna go off.
He's a fucking Pomeranian.
He's a chihuahua, just I'm angry at everything.
Give me your hand.
We're on the side of the car.
Make sure your harpoon is in well use. Grok will just drawn off. As I'll throw the harpoon at her.
Don't do it.
Yep. Okay. That misses. As I epically.
Isn't it a gun? This is a gun, right?
Not a gun, it's a harpoon.
It does count as a firearm.
Okay, so it's touch attack. It's
Alright,
range.
stop that, alright. Okay, I miss. Luckily,
Okay.
as
I'm gonna
Grok
touch attack.
fires
Okay.
and it magically misses, the ruins
Shink!
on the gun causes it to refire.
Oh. Oh.
Alright, does a 12 hit.
It's
Touch.
touch AC for the hag?
Yeah.
Is an 11.
Oh! Okay.
Shink! She's leaning over.
The
fucking right through one of the
Like, I was gonna say... Awesome.
Which is why it
I'm gonna say that that grapple check is underway. You just haven't moved her or pulled her.
Alright.
So she rolled, if this is...
It's CMD.
Yeah, same thing.
Same D. Okay.
Never mind. What did you get, 21?
20.
20. Her CMD is 24.
Yeah, I can do it.
So it rips the cord out of her own
14.
saggy shoulder arm.
16.
Oh, never mind. I did get.
That's 23.
No, I got 23. Never mind.
You got 23! Oh.
It's
But
19.
you could
plus
theoretically do it.
I could if I get enough points.
No, but you also... Did you count your guns plus 1?
I didn't know. I don't think it add.
It is plus 1.
Alright, then it is 24.
It doesn't really. I don't think
It doesn't say it applies. To
Yeah.
yeah. But it doesn't do damage.
Grapple?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so it doesn't do damage. So I will give you that. And I'll say it gets to add to it rather than
like a grapple feature.
right.
Yeah.
This technically should do damage, but for the whole point of the weapon would that it would instantly grapple if it hit. If it doesn't hit, it's obviously still piercing her, not doing the damage, but doing the grapple. So you've grappled her.
Alright.
Nice.
And that cord, by the way, can still be extended out longer or be welded in.
Okay.
Welded in.
If she got grappled, Grok with it will say the command word. Heave!
Yeah, it makes sense.
As he remembers the fond memories of Phil doing the same thing.
Ah, Phil.
Fucking Phil.
So will save.
What's-
DC 14.
Will say.
Will?
Yep.
Oh, that's great. That's a 2.
Okay, she's affected by the slow
47.
spell. now.
Plus 7.
Oh.
She's now slow.
Oh my god. That's pretty good.
An equivalent action.
The duration of 1 round.
Now it is Moki's turn. You watch this thing reach down at you, and then a small silver string and dart hits her, holds taut, and her instant reaction is being caught off guard for sure. You up to you whether or not you start to notice the magical kind of like slowing.
Her hands still reach out towards me.
Basically, yeah.
I'm gonna try and cut her.
Okay.
Let's get that hand.
Let's do this. I'm gonna put this ball gag in your mouth, please.
Fucking axe and both hands, raging like a rager or whatever.
Just so he can't eat everything he finds on the floor. Not for a sec.
I don't feel anything towards you!
I don't even care. I don't even know who you are.
Attacker.
Okay. Her AC is 18.
I need to get a 9 or higher.
That's it. Slow does its job. Slow doing the job. We can do it!
Be dashing off that ball.
21.
Yeah, let's get it! Let's get it!
Yeah.
I'll pull my chair up because I'm so low.
Oh, shit.
So low down.
So low down. I'm so much taller now. Getting 2 more feet on my body.
15 slashing damage.
My lord.
Can this creature bleed?
Does she?
3 bleed.
So, was that 14? 14 damage?
15 slashing.
18.
3 bleed.
Are you sure it's 15? Slashing?
Yep, 15. I rolled a 5, I'm plus 10.
Okay.
I'm ready. For sure. Wait, that's attack modifier plus 9. That's my damage.
So 18.
We need to add 1 on top of that.
Okay. So, you
They cut off her hand.
you cut off like 3 fingers and like a good chunk of this, like this. All of that's gone. You see there are two fingers left. Outer fingers.
Can I snap those fingers out of the air and eat one?
Please don't.
You already cut them off. Yeah, they're kind of like, they're about to...
One leg.
This is so disgusting. Long, hooked, gnarly
I
teeth.
like the taste of fish.
What changed between last time and now?
Right.
And as you eat, you start to hear a kind of a sound. This is, I mean...
He was angry when you did.
As you swallow and inhale a part of the hag, your body is like fighting itself in that your body is a curse, fighting a curse you just ate. You've got a bit of indigestion in that when you start to talk, you hear escaping voices.
Fingers start escaping my mouth.
Like wordy fingers, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try and get. Can I move up to her?
She is above you. You ripped off her fingers. I'm gonna say no.
I can just do a straight vertical jump.
You could just give another go.
Do it
That's,
again.
you
got it.
I used
So,
22.
22 before, 27
I
now.
don't have a running start this time, right?
I'm gonna increase the DC by 5 each time you don't do it. Still, that's a 5e rule. So 27.
27.
This is hard.
Just do it.
I'll do it anyway. No, I don't succeed.
Failure. Absolutely.
As you reach up, most of the hand that's still there just like presses your head so that you get all of that way up and then it just pushes you back down.
Yeah.
You don't go prone again.
Okay, good.
But you're like, she's using her, I have the high ground to fuck with you. Top of the round.
Bird time.
Bird time. Bird time. I hate doing that voice, it hurts my throat. Bird time.
Super moves, I can't do damage to it.
Okay.
If any condition in this little melee right now changes, I can no longer be used.
Okay, the bird's gonna use a free action to attack you, Meliorn. 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is a free action attack? Is that it?
Attack rolls. Yeah. Because it hit you, it's gonna go for you. Your body starts to, even at the corners of your arm, which you're still seeing is kind of like skeletal, you're now seeing this kind of like a filter overlay of a normal hand of kind of a yellowish green light.
I can
Yeah. Here we go. The damage is great. However, I didn't roll a crit that would, cut your heart out of your chest. So, a d6, that's the damage. 1 plus 3 is 4 points of piercing damage. And I need you to roll a will save or be frightened for 1 round by its... okay.
That's pretty close.
This 5 is 9, but then he branded so that I get to roll a d4. 4! Oh, lovely. 13 points. 35.
Can you not go that way? Why? Okay. Epic.
Okay. Bukelian goes now, it's the hag.
I feel like it's I have the ability to do that.
You're the one who's scared all the time. You should do something.
Yeah,
You're the one who's scared.
You're
the one who's scared of the 10-foot-tall giant. You should fight her.
That's 10 feet tall. Yeah.
Moki, you hear from the creature in front of you. You're not playing very fair, are you? And it sounds like Cornell.
The classic Cornell statement.
Are you? And with its other arm, as its 2 fingers reach back to try and pull on the wire, its other arm, out of wide berth, goes to claw you below him. Wait and see.
As he starts reeling it in,
The line goes taut.
Rock will pull out his long
Just dagger.
staff as he starts spinning it, as it starts building up electricity as it hits the harpoon. So that's
You're just channeling cool. You're channeling the lightning across it, cool.
flavor, but
You got to beat an 11. -1 because of all things right now with your slow, have a -1, touches 10.
that's 17 to hit.
Yeah.
That hits.
Okay, that's D4.
Damn it.
2.
Epic. That's like half
As
the
the
damage.
lightning goes through,
You watch lightning go through, and then it seems to go up, and it wraps around her chest, where you can see there is a small piece of green gem that hangs from her neck that seems to hold. And you're like, you've seen that on you've seen that on someone on your crew before. You think it was the bird person? It helped him connect to lightning, electrical energy, contain it, and then disperse it safely. Moki. It is your turn. You see lightning funnels up above your head through a little small line of cord and enters her body and seems to not glow as brightly, not flash as vibrantly as you expected.
Running start is 10 feet. Sure.
She's just gonna spend the whole time trying to climb these
One
fucking
piece.
walls.
Okay, hold on. Can I just climb up this bit, the little ramp?
Yeah, it's not certainly not easy. It's going to be roughly the same DC before. It's going to be probably a 22 like climb check to get
It's not
out.
as vertical anymore, which means
It is in some areas, not as much opening. Yeah, that whole surface there, it's
well,
kind of
from
vertical.
Here, I'm like what 5 feet in elevation different from her.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 10, and then I'm like what 20 feet away from her. Like,
Yeah, 5, 10, 15, yeah, 20.
make here. I hate jumping. Fine. I'm just gonna fucking go back a bit and run again.
He's gonna do it again.
20. No.
It keeps going up.
That's right. So it's 32.
32.
I can.
You have a plus 19.
I can actually do this.
Stop Ellie, idiot.
Fucking! I closed myself again. But
This whole combat encounter is just.
I rolled a 1, then a 4, now a 6. Yeah. Stop going low. Come on.
Maybe the world is telling you not to try to.
You should hit the rocks and then collapse if you roll them.
You know what? Honestly,
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna attack the fucking rock. I like that idea.
yeah, sure.
Collapse it. I'm
Well, you
out of
can-
range. I don't have range.
Failure.
No. Fucking.
Imagine having range.
What happened to the reflux?
Whoa.
Big range.
Low blow. Just straight strength.
Just straight.
Ooh. 20.
So you hook the edge of your great weapon on it, and you rend down, and 22. Do some weapon damage for me.
Weapon damage?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, with your rage. Damage threshold is going to be 15.
You want to see that? Cool. Cool, okay. Same as last time, 15.
Okay.
Not actually.
So the bridge, you break off a tiny chunk, and it comes down with your arm. And you look up, and you see that one break off have 5 or 6 other spiders. It cracks where you rent down, and it doesn't break on you or on that. Grow, you see the thing in front of you breaks sideways. The wire you're on tilts and kind of strings downwards a bit. Yeah, Moki, you've got the area to climb now. There you go.
Too far away from my
Yeah, I can now do a climb check.
Unfortunately.
But that's the. I'd probably use my move now.
Yeah.
Someone
Yep.
told me to pull her on top of my feet and
It's always the bird creature is going to now chase. It's going to chase Melion.
Why would you do that? It's just right.
It's going back and forth. Cicero, it knows your true name. Melion. No.
Yeah, opportunity attack.
Yeah, my guy gets it. This bird creature is indecisive. That is almost, again, I got a 17, not crit range, but that hits. Lucky me.
I think I could roll that.
Ooh, 5. That's 12 points of damage. His plus is good.
We'll see how stabby.
Okay, as that bird flies towards you from behind, you see it suddenly like flaps and then just lands face down in the mud, and you see like 4 hands that look to be smoking, and you can see just from the nubs of the nails have fully embedded in the back of this creature and are smoldering. They're almost glowing molten hot, and you see him just rake it backwards, and this bird creature that was about to fly at you is just pulled back, like soaked through the mud like sails in the water.
Oh my gosh.
Do your job. His full face is like wolfing out. It's just he's turned into a monster while you really weren't looking. Cicero, it's now your turn. No, the thing is now dead, and it was front and forward in total 1 round. That's the ability.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's dead on the floor? Is it still looking?
It doesn't look like it's twitching. The eyes that glow a color that were shown they were alive are not glowing. Your skin is returning to a regular dark color. So, no.
I don't know what my job is. Oh, the heck.
Save your friend.
Okay.
If he's here alive. I heard someone talking that sounded like it. Don't do your thing. Please. Okay. So full 60. Caden, can you move Meliorn from the boat 60 feet towards
It's on the upside of the rock.
You see very much kind of like just darkness, and there are 6 glowing red dots in darkness.
From where he is?
Yep.
Oh, my nightmares! Not that I have nightmares and visions, and I will cower against the rock. That's the end of my turn.
Cornell. It's sad. You're the fear before the frightful.
Well, I can't really do anything, so I'm gonna cast Expedition Retreat.
I like it.
So I can make the 30-foot
Get your gun out.
What the fuck up? And I'm just gonna quickly go.
Red, wait, that's
And then he has like
It's the tips, I think, where it's like running over like the side.
Yeah, that's why I had a 70-foot movement.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be there.
Do you want?
Hiding.
Yeah.
And
You figure out which is the best. Okay.
Main battle. Oh, wait.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. All right.
So close. Computer.
He's still not over.
Okay. Deucalion is going to Felix. Wait.
Gets me just past the trick.
That wolf that's at the edge of the map.
Yeah.
Can you grab him and pull him right up to the edge of where the hag is? Only, or, yep.
Here?
Where there's only, yeah, between the two, between the rocks, on a place where he could actually stand. Don't go. Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
There we go. That's the matter. Right there.
Loop Guru, which means werewolf.
What the hell's a lupa?
Deucalion.
Yeah, I was gonna say I use that to shower.
Actually, no. He would have had to use his whole turn to get up there. So 35 feet. No. Yeah. He's literally 40 feet away. Let's be real. Okay. Deucalion gets
I use
to.
my whole turn.
It's time to hunt you cursed thing. That's what you hear. And now it is the hag.
More than 22 health.
I'm glad.
She will use her entire movement action
I want
to jump back.
Is she not grappled anymore?
You're good. That's a good point.
Go ahead, man.
It would be contested,
Yeah, okay.
so you're gonna roll.
No, don't be annoying. Gotta run.
Okay, I rolled pretty bad.
Will I use my strength for contested?
This is actually, I think this is, yeah, this would have been against a CMD, but that's to hit. I think that's a different thing. This would just be, yeah, athletics or strength.
Actually, no, it's the same. That's
Okay.
my CMD is slightly better. For just pure strength, it's 14.
No, it's just strength plus BAB.
What would BAB? Hit die? Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so 9 plus 4 is her strength. There's a -1 from being with the debuff you've already given her, and then her hit die are 9.
Okay.
So 23.
Oh, 23?
23.
Yeah, she's no longer slowed.
What was it at? She took her action to do that, so she's no longer slowed, but she jumps back 30 feet, gets to here. You can attempt to do a hide. You're not going.
Oh, no, I've been hiding this whole time.
You were hiding still? Okay. I'm gonna roll for her because you're now right in front of her. I rolled genuinely shit. That's a 5. What's my mod? Her perception is plus 15, so that's 20. Yep. She's bleeding. You can see there's a big wound. I would say like area where the heart is. I am going to complete this ritual. That is her turn. Grok, it is now your turn. You see the cord over the bridge go slack. Her form disappears back into the shadow. She like leaps back.
Brock charges it back with his night vision.
The reel comes in.
Alright. Is this open?
Yeah, that's now broken like that, so you can climb on. It is actual good terrain. You've taken double movement to get to where you are.
Alright.
So that's only 20 feet, so you've got 10 feet left.
Alright.
Danae.
Go outside, move forward. As he will take another shot at the hopper.
Okay, beautiful. Wait, can I have one of your wares, please? Thank you.
my friends,
I've been on that. We'll leave that with you.
Oh, my friend.
Alright. Last one hits, and they're
I'll
burned.
actually do it.
Okay, this is the touch attack.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So that's 13. 13 to hit.
13 to hit for touch hits.
Okay.
Keter.
I'm a +2, by the way.
I know. I love firearms. They overcome everything. Like touch is just such a weird thing.
That's 4 damage.
4 damage. Every monster has such a high AC except touch.
Well, that's the point. Is that just breaks AC.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Crap.
No, this would be another check. This would be against her CMD, which is 24.
Okay, I need another way.
So you need that 20.
Missed.
This is a good vantage point.
Cool.
I stand here and I point down at the hag. You think someone gets that?
Look at this
That's what
thing.
you're going to do a running charge attack.
No. Look at that. Boy! Bitch face!
Nice.
You know, I apologize for calling you faggot. You guys realize you don't have any fucking dick. I'm gonna pervert her.
This woman
That's abuse.
is hag
Perverting
chick.
her, which is a feat. Basically, I want to pervert her.
Oh!
She's really angry at me.
Under your foot, left hand.
What?
Yeah.
No.
You can provoke her to be even angry at you. She's angry.
Basically, it's a whole feat thing. I do a intimidation check as standard action, and it's against a DC of 10 per hit die. Like,
Okay.
What?
Which is 9. She has 9 hit die.
That's her wisdom modifier.
And a wisdom modifier. 9 plus wisdom. Her wisdom is +1. 20.
Oh, I thought I wouldn't be able to succeed that. I only have +5 in my intimidation apparently. Okay, I have to get a 15. I'm 1 off.
You stand there like puff your chest out.
Your points.
Yeah, use your point. Give it to me.
It's not real. It's not real.
He never used them. They're not real. He's right.
They're not real.
Did I get rid of them?
You used
I
them
got rid
all.
of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have that anymore.
They're not real.
I was only lower level 1.
Okay. Did that do it?
You yell to her, and her back is faced to you.
Nerd tit bitch.
Blinding.
Nothing?
I think you do hear a kind of like a quiet, echoed, muffled laugh, and then the voice switches. You wouldn't say that to your own friends, would you? Sounding like Cornell.
No, doesn't have any tits. He's a man.
What if he did?
That'd be fucking weird. I'll make fun of it.
Not real, of course.
I'll use my movement to get 10 feet back from the ledge, so we can do
Okay.
running just stuff. So.
Oh my god, finally.
That's my turn. That was a stand action.
That is your turn. On top of the round is Cericio
I will climb up.
Cicera. It is dead now. You can Decalion.
No,
I should have told him to kill it.
None of us did.
I'm glad you.
Some damage to it. I'm gonna climb up those rocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
go ahead.
Just climb out the rocks.
Yep.
Make a climb check. DC 20.
35.
So he gets up 10.
No, I was gonna climb
Oh,
the side
this?
of the cliff.
Oh.
but I
He
failed
couldn't do it. He
miserably.
failed. So what do you do?
So I have 25 feet to get there. I'm just gonna pull out my bow and shoot her.
Yeah, you have ambush.
Well, that's more than 60 feet, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, and then she is the 14th square.
Okay, so -1.
You still had 20 feet left. You could move forward, but if you wanted just -1.
No, I have 35.
Mhm.
Wasted 10 feet. I had to move.
You have to move 10 feet over to where you are now.
So,
So you have 15 feet.
I'll
Okay.
move.
Like here?
Sure. Yeah.
Now you don't have a minus
Oh, do you wanna
penalty
go up here?
to your hit.
Yeah, I'll be up there.
Okay.
And I will shoot it here.
You're actually at higher elevation, so still better to hit her than lower.
Not one.
We've got 19.
That one? Oh my
Yeah, that's a
god.
misfire right there.
Yeah, no. Imagine if you were both.
My last 5 feet and just move back.
The first big boss he had, he misfired and broke his bow. I'm not going to do that again. You broke the arrow's gone.
The
You don't know where that
second
went.
time I got a nat 1, I had lost all my arrows.
That too. Yeah. This one's just sad because it's in the dark.
Ah, frick.
Yeah, you hit a tree.
My
No, that
arm
tree.
gun.
Pling. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is okay. The hag is going to fight the whatever that thing is. Monstrosity.
Cornell.
But I don't think I can see it. You're hidden, right?
You could see 6 glowing eyes in shadow, and that's what she's facing, so yeah.
Nothing.
Fucking sucks. Okay.
I think we got like plus once you run out. Yeah.
They consider flat-footed.
No.
I think that's only if you're a rogue.
No.
You go.
Right behind her.
It's cool. At the angle works. Yep.
Isn't she facing that way?
She is now facing you.
Okay.
She jumped this way. She couldn't see you.
Yeah.
You don't see it. You're like a predator.
Sort of
Down.
appear out of the darkness and I will bite through her neck.
Okay. Okay. You make the attack roll, and then
That's a natural 20.
that's a 20. You do your damage, and then you let us know what that. Quick confirm. Let us know what that looks like as what they see.
You instantly rip her spinal health? So that'd be great.
There's a good chance you could do enough damage.
25 to hit.
20,
Confirm.
25.
Oh my
Good,
God.
good.
That's a crit.
She's taken 19. She's taken 23 points of damage so far out of her 58 HP. She is not that tough.
Pretty tough.
25, you've done more than half. You've done almost half her HP.
It would take
But
me
Dark is the true DPS.
10 turns.
you did 4.
I did 4 damage.
Probably 4.
But the other lightning stuff, it's there. But
32 damage.
32?
I don't know.
she had taken 25 damage. Wait, hold on a sec. 20. Is that 24 damage?
I did 19.
You did 18.
So I also with bleach on the charge, she took another 3 damage.
3. I didn't write that down. With one fucking hit, you kill this hack. How would you, as Cornell, as your new form, like to finish the job?
Yeah, so I guess you see sort of those red eyes sort of emerge from the darkness. And you see a visage from a nightmare, a creature with twisted forms. Itself is roughly 12 or 20. Terrified place with
Okay. I was trying to get up the image of what that face looks like. That's deep recessed in my computer.
Too cool. So gross.
The sounding of like bark rending, like it is like Cornell has, this thing has split a tree open, and that is the sound of. It just gets more and more twisted, and more broken, and you realize that big glowing light above you that was kind of encircling her, you see it stop, rolls onto the side, big to you molten color. You see her body kind of half collapse onto you. You wrap. How do you still rip and rend?
Yeah, I think he's just so he bites, rips it into as the sort of two halves of this hag sort of rip. We'll just sort of throw it to the side and kind of brothers.
You do. This is your this is your domain, and what that is unfortunately it mimics her type of signature, although it at a much stronger, vibrant color. And even though she and that color from her seems to fade, the color from it doesn't diminish if it just changes slightly. And for everyone else, there was no visible floating metal skull, and now there is a skull that is on the floor at the side, 15 feet away from the hag and from this monster that has a green jade gem embedded in one eye. That's the skull. There is bone, like she's got some sort of dagger, you just break it under your hand as you step onto her. Small amounts of what is left of her brittle and thin long bones are snapped and broken and rent apart, thrown. The wolf at the periphery of your vision, his head almost just in that kind of visual rendering distance for you. He's fallen down in, but he's at the edge of that bridge, at that bank edge. And there's something in you that said, hey, this is the guy that kept me prisoner in a cage. So that's not a great sense of emotion coming from him. And I think through all of this is this constant. The more that creatures start to see you, the more that echoing, the continual voices that seem to swirl as if it's their thoughts that are kind of their periphery burning into you. Cornell just went. Deucalion goes. His turn, you see there are molten, burning nails that are extending from his hands, and I think that is him. It's a monster. It's far. 3 tails? It's bigger than I remember. We recaged it. We managed to get the manacles on his legs spinning. They were neutralizing agents. They could knock him unconscious. I don't know if it works in this form.
This is Cornell.
If he is still alive in there. It took a week and he emerged last time. 6 months ago. He says kind of hushedly, like he is disappointed in himself.
Cornell, you're stronger than you think. You know.
I had 22 spell.
Okay. Where are you going?
Right now, we'll
I'm
just
hiding
keep
behind
up.
that rock.
Right now, we'll hold and wait to see if he'll attack us or not.
There.
I mean, you've also got your place behind you that is all accessible, and you're starting to realize for all of you, there is stone dirt surface. It's starting to wave. The ground is starting to become kind of like loosely like water. The ground is solid, but it's wobbling. Moki, for the future, you have your -2 on your sturdy legs. You are suffering water conditions on land where you are right now.
Twin thumbs are still there, or are they fully spent?
They're almost completely gone. There's the top ember of a upper part of the horizon, and the ground.
Wave crashed on the shore. Twin
22 stars.
Because this dude's gonna be time.
No, yeah.
I'm behind a rock. You smell me. I'm put up.
Cornell, are you aware? Sane?
You notice beside Cornell, that tree, it's dried, it's old, it's black. The actual bark is black, and it's not one, it was attacked like horizontally by whatever is now facing you. Half emerged from that tree, you see the front of like a bird mask. You see the creature that led you to this point, this bird form. His body is like half stuck in the tree that is dead behind him. This demonic body is like prowling beside it, clearly unfazed by a dead, half tree sunken form. I'll give it an initiative. Moki is technically last, but Grok, you go as well. What do you want to do in this
Rock is
situation?
just holding his action if in case anything happens. I think I
You actually see Grok stuck up on this bridge area here. The vibration sound of your engine. It is very close to you.
As Grog will slowly walk closer to his anchor.
You do. The top of the round,
Yeah.
followed by Corner.
When I hear Murky begin to move forward, I'd pop out behind the rock and hold an arrow and hold my action to shoot this thing if it attacks it.
Okay. You're all holding. The horizon line. The last bit of light. Now only the faintest corners of the eastern skyline appears to have color. Just the corner. Not within 100 feet of you is there any visible light. And as you all wait there and prowl, you see there is just another layer of shadow that completely covers Cornell's form. And you're seeing colors, like there is blood covering him. There looks to be some sort of chitin bone plating. All of that, while colored, seems to just blend back into the shadows as more light is sucked from this environment. Cicero, you just move. You hold your action.
I'm actually going to pull out one of the silver arrows.
I knew it, he changed his mind.
One of my silver arrows.
You pull it.
It's far too big for my bow, for a longbow. But that's probably
You could have whittled it even a little bit.
I can't quite.
After Grog
Sure.
feels
I'm
like he needs
useless.
to start singing sea shanties because of what is. Grog will be like,
Time to raise roll!
Oh, I bid farewell to the port and the land.
We need to
As
go.
I paddle away from sharks
Cornell.
and gas and
Would you
search for my long forgotten good friends to search for the place I hear all the sailors and that the souls of the dead fill the space in my
Stop
blood.
walking
I search
backwards.
without fear.
His turn first. You
When are we after initiative?
you sing.
Never.
You are up to
The
Cornell.
dragons I fear not the sea, but I remember the fallen. Do they think of me?
as Grog starts moving.
That's really good, yeah. I want to clap for that. That was really amazing. You stayed in tune. You keep going. You embellish and pull your hearts. You're right. You suddenly cut it, getting metal in between plates of glass.
What is this pathway to?
Oh, it's a bridge, and you didn't have much remaining light, but when you were entering the surface area behind this, you saw it a bridge that kind of extends into a dark horizon, and it's funny because you don't see anything except for they're now in this direction that you look. A white light. It's actually more grey.
Don't look at it.
It's hard to see. Melion just sees it because it's completely shadowed by tall, distant spires. What this bridge extends to.
Don't look at it.
You see a tall metropolis-like city illuminated by a bright grey moon connected to this bridge that extends what looks like high up. And it's not even above the city, it's just illuminating tons of different spires of jutting dark angles. And as it slowly begins to creep upwards, not invisible eyeline fully yet. Your silver arrow is cocked, Cornell.
Okay, the moon's rising.
Reach down. Pick up the skull.
It is. It's that same metal that your body just rejected. Didn't feel nice. Kind of like a cold liquid toothpaste in texture. Still burns the kind of back of your tongue. This metal, it is that. The gem is something else, replacing where an eye would be, and the sensation you get from it is that of, well, it's conducting something. The moment you touch it, you feel 3 or 4 plates on your chitinous arm crack. You take 1 point of con damage instantly. Something And thereafter, make a fort save for me. With your new form. Okay. So as you begin, you grab this thing, you feel it, or what it is capable of, in that it starts to draw something out of you. Toss it, yeah. The words she spoke, and you actually realize they spoke in every language, even so that the inner voice could hear. She was using tongues. She could speak every language all at once. That ritual she was trying to complete, that is what she was trying to complete, and it was stripping her of her life. At least you think it was, because that's what it started to do to you. You rolls aside, slips into some of that mud, and I'd say that was a free action just to pick up. What do you want to do?
Full round action, we'll figure out.
Really? Okay. Like, over here.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
We out of initiative.
We are now out of initiative.
I'm gonna run out for him.
Rising monkey, what do we do?
Up the Cornell!
With the direction Cornell's running, the moon is rising far ahead of him. He's running
try
towards.
and run after him.
Hey, buddy.
Is this? What is this? Is this more black?
It's very dark orange. Very dark orange.
Is it still liquid lava?
No. Oh, sorry. The actual it wasn't waving before the sun went down. Now the whole surface is it's all waving. The stone, the jutting stone, has that look. This is almost a grey orange in color. Stone, or like a hard gravel dirt. Yeah. Once you hit to this point, then it's like, oh, this is totally different architecture entirely. You're noticing elven runes. You're noticing elven. That looks like two guarding angels made of fucking straight up elven mold.
Well, now the beast just fucking runs up at super speed, right?
Yeah, you just see the red 6 eyes turn away and then just a shadow trail.
Cool, I'm faster than him, I run after him.
Okay. You start to realize that you're crossing that bridge. You have minus.
Doesn't really do anything. I can't take a 10 on acrobatics.
Yeah, so basically, you're only slightly impaired.
Yeah.
You're noticing that Cornell's tail gets very close to you, and then you're obviously noticing that there are 3 tails, not just one. And then somehow he does outpace you, or this bridge gets wider from 2 different angles. It's like he is stretched ahead of your vision, so much so that you're 10 feet away from that tail. 10 feet. You could reach it. And then by the time you go for it, he's 15 feet, and then 20 feet, and he stretches.
One last shout, get on the boat! Yeah, that's it.
You're climbing higher than an area where you know a boat would be. Melion, you're hearing that behind you. What do you do in front of you?
I will
Cicero?
run up to the bridge.
Okay. Takes you a quarter of a minute. No, do you have bonus action dash still?
No.
Okay, so you just use your whole action to sprint 120 feet.
Yeah. I'm just gonna study these this
that.
bit of pillar just to see if I can glean any information.
Okay. Okay, so he is gone. I don't know where Felix is. And I'm gonna slowly.
First you go 30, don't worry,
Yeah, he did. He took off his armor. Proud of the boy.
Oh, actually, stop reading. Oh,
Specifically inscribed onto the edges of the edges of the bridge, nothing. It all looks to be very decorative and designed to be embellished. It is just pretty. Written on the base of those 2 angels that are they're winged beings. I wouldn't call them angels, and they're formed to kind of an upwards pillar, resembling kind of like a winged salute at an upwards angle. You're noticing the finer details. They are elven features. You could even say like pixies with full-on like bird wings, like hawk wings, but very thin, elven designed features. Translation: there's some writing. Some of it is more obscure and basically impossible to read, but you get bridge to the heart of Sephiroth. binding of planes en route. Yeah, it probably takes you about a minute. You're starting to speed up on these translations. They are basically Sylvan. But there are some corner phrases that get a bit skewed between your understanding of verbs and nouns for this additional part of the language.
Binding of the plane.
Binding of the planes. Binding of the planes. Home or heart of the root. Home or heart, both words. So now you begin to trek in a direction you don't really know what's ahead of you. To explain, the demon fled, went across the bridge. Meliorn investigated the bridge, but first, after Cornell the demon ran away, the horseman sprinted after him. So you two and the werewolf with you are basically left while you hear distant gallops across this bridge.
He took the instructions for how to get out of here with him. Great.
I think we can find a point like the other one where the environment is different from the one we are in. It is like a crown. We call them the crowns of the ley lines. They are connective points, but they hold potentially doorways if they are contaminated.
Can I do a planes check to see if that adds up?
Sure, yeah.
That's a 12.
Not on land. You don't know of the basically the magical shifts on land-based crowns, but you're decently aware of the fact that underwater you have drifted over fallen cities, and the unfortunate part about those, the ones that basically do still sustain life, is that a lot of the times they are only forced to resubmerge when one of those very old cities, and most of the very oldest cities were based around these ley lines of power. Some of the oldest cities, these ley lines spiked, something shot out of it, scared the inhabitants of any underwater, homes, abandoned cities that became refugee spots for underwater sea life. You got waves of attacks just because these underwater pulses would trigger kind of like, I was going to say, the Titan, Pacific Rim, basically. These creatures you're only aware of the ripples of it. The creatures that are forced to flee as something else spawns from where these nexuses are. So you know the ones underwater, you don't know much about the land-based ones. And this is a different plane entirely, so yeah.
Did the corpse disappear?
The corpse of the bird? Or the hag? Nope.
Okay.
The skull is also still there.
I'm going to take a Bhakti's jewel, hag.
Okay.
And I will get my great axe and shatter this skull.
Okay. Her skull?
The
one you crush her skull.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
We can go through it. You try to crush the metal one, it does not crush. It has 16th level abjuration magic on it, so you're just not getting through it. This is just getting sorry, what was I? In the hag's destroyed, ripped apart clothing and apparel, you find the book, and you find your box of holding. Two things that were very easy for her to keep in what are much larger satchels than you expected her to have on her person. Two of your most valuable, then also the book of the salts, which is not necessarily, that's the thing you tried to get rid of.
Carl will just put it all in the box.
Does she have my SAR suit?
You don't see, or at least you weren't searching for it. But Grok does not find it. SAR liquid. Alright, let's move.
Liquids.
let's move.
I
Yeah,
guess before. Sorry.
yeah. Do it.
Is
Tell me.
Doc's corpse here?
No, it is not. The corpse that you do see that is half protruding from a tree is the bird guy that was very cloaked, very tattered. You can see the front of the face is visible and that it was an owl, but it had been horribly wilted over the front of its face where the beak would be. There is another tree where you can see an entire thick part of the stem of that tree is just missing. Like the tree is hanging on a quarter of its normal amount of like stalk. It looks like a body, like that body that you saw that is dead. A body was ripped out of this tree, and it shows the same kind of dead, rooted complexion. The actual stalk is grey and dark brown. You can see here.
I feel like I'm gonna slow the game down, but I do want to try to pull out a bucket from the tree.
Okay. Here we go. Buckety. So he's a birdman.
What's his name? Alright. I only got a 10. That's more.
So you begin to rip the form out. You get you get an arm and a half, and then his entire shoulder just rips out of the socket. It falls down with you. You do remember seeing a Buckdee's beak in a satchel off at the side of the room in the hag's den. This is not a Buckdee. This is Aslan. This is the one who led you to the hag.
Alright, Traitors get there, alert.
He was called the Surrenderer, and
Damn it.
yeah.
Why didn't Cornell ever say cool stuff like that, huh?
No.
Alright,
I can't talk.
I'm done here. Let's head to wherever Murky and Cornell let off.
I guess we're going this way.
Yes. Okay.
Apparently, this is the bridge to the heart of the Sephira. Heart of Sephira, not the Sephira.
Several. Alright.
I think the plane is Sephira.
Alright.
Okay.
Where's the main man?
Let's go.
Okay.
How are you holding that?
Yeah, I'll float.
You're just going to basically be dragging / grinding it, but its vibration keeps it off that level. So you just, okay. It's a tag along. You could basically get someone to ride it, although it would be like riding a vibrator. So, you know. Like riding a washing machine, yeah. Much larger, much more correct.
Okay, any okay?
Demon thing ate the hag. Good. I'm glad that solved that problem, but we need to make sure that demon is not completely lost. I have seen him transform into something like that. I think that given 7 days of isolation, he should reform into his human self.
Well, I've noticed that the demon thing.
Yeah, what?
They have some experimental dinosaur growth going through it because I saw some plating. And I did see him with dinosaur.
He did have that, yeah.
So I don't know if there's.
It probably.
Are you saying that there's some sort of concoction that was added to his ingredients of fucked to make it?
I think he went through the unknown potion and may have
He did not
mutated.
expect it to happen.
How did you?
We still have another one, but I gave it to Moki. He's gonna drink it. Nope.
But you know, I could be just
T-Rex.
putting 2 to 2 together with no collar. I could be wrong.
You should drink it.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I don't think Henrik is the wisest of us, but it does add to his intelligence when he takes big risks like that. So, you know, normally it pays out. Oh.
Yeah, I feel sorry if he ever has any children. If they will have to do that.
Maybe he's lucky. He probably won't have children.
I hope it doesn't have children. I don't want that thing breathing. It's horrific.
You keep walking across a bridge. There is some like light conversation between you and him, but the hound the King's Hound seems to be very intent on looking and observing, and there's even points where he seems to just like swing beneath the bridge, turning his nails into like molten claws, sticking them into the side of the bridge, and then swinging underneath, flipping back up in a different angle, and says, "Covered, nothing beneath us. Actually, nothing, just black."
I like you. You're actually looking around for danger.
It is a part of my job.
Guess I'll die then.
Try not to. We're not there yet.
And what you arrive at
I'm sorry, I didn't tell you that there's blackness that everyone can see right there. I mean, there's definitely nothing under the bridge.
I mean, when I looked down, it was black. When I went under the bridge, it was also black, so there's no difference.
That's exactly the same.
We'll have different uses. Your use is for infiltration.
I can also do sniffing. Good for infiltrating.
I can do a lot. I can go.
There's nothing under the bridge. I can still hear them running. They're like a kilometer away now.
You hear Moki's footsteps stop as Moki, you hit the edge of the bridge. The bridge immediately leads into a large building with much decay, but you notice that more importantly than just the overwhelming sense of ruin, it's a structure that's quite tall. In fact, tall enough that when you enter it, you don't see how high up it goes, just that there is enough darkness. And you guys are approaching that moon. It's a octagonal room. It's really big. It's maybe 120 feet wide. Octagonal, meaning that there looks like this whole room once held rows of columns facing inwards of bookshelves.
I lost the nail with me too far ahead.
He went far enough ahead. You're in the next part of the room. You were just running on a bridge.
I saw him go with the build, I'm going.
You saw a shadow flee into this room where it was also shadowed. When you get inside, there is one green ball of light that is illuminated in the center of the room. That's when you notice there's a central desk, there's a central axle with what looks like a board, a dartboard. Not a dartboard, a board with writing on it. That is the only thing left in this room. The entire room where bookshelves would be, rows of them all facing inwards at 8 octagonal directions, they're burned, charred, blackened. Only the bottom of these bookshelves remain, and scattered amounts of ash lay waste to this room. In the center of the room, they're pretty ripped, obviously.
Glad your fucking demon schlong isn't flipping around
Bigger than my head.
It's about the same size as your head, so it does draw you closer. And you would expect that.
Look exactly like it.
You would expect that when you entered, that shadow of Cornell should be visible in the general vicinity. He's not. You see in Sylvan, which you can read, written on the only dartboard, the billboard, which is in the center of the room, round desk. At the back of that round desk, this board, one of its legs has been completely burnt to ash. It's at an angle, sloped. There are, looks like 4 really heavily wilted pieces of paper. Most of them are all burnt. There's one that remains. It is at an angle. You pull it off. Restricted section, 3rd floor. Prior appointments only.
Well,
It is a massive, 120-foot wide room.
well, whenever you're in a weird realm and you see people here that says don't go somewhere, you go there.
You go there, and you
Something
see
interesting there.
you see at the back of this room there is another light.
Yeah, but I don't know where he is.
It flickers. It's not. It's dying, or it's nearly dead. It's that same green. It's very, very dim, and it's at the corner of this massive octagonal sized room. So as you two arrive, you notice that you two head down the edge of this ramp with Deucalion the Third, and Deucalion the Third. He is royalty. you see, yeah, of course. You see Moki is. Yeah, Moki is holding up a piece of paper and then begins to walk, I'm guessing, in the direction, in a confused, questionable direction. There is nothing else in this room. It is a Malion. You're getting nervous jitters. You remember?
Nervous jittering for the past 6 months.
You remember? There was something a bit in past memory, in part of your reverie, a room that is completely filled with ash, and where only small remnants of these bookshelves remain. A fire so strong it leaves no top to these bookshelves, like a breath of fire erased all of the upper parts of this bookshelf, only leaving the base plate of wood, and that is burned black. This whole room is charred and burned, a lot like a memory you had of someone you don't recognize. Or it may have been the memory of the dragon who burned down a room with you in it. One of the few.
Monkey, wait up.
You see him. You see he stops. He's barely moving in a direction, and you can see where in the center of this room there is one green orb of light that is glowing with some prominence. It's pretty dull considering how big this room is. The far corner of the direction Moki walks, there is another small flickering, puckering green glow.
What did you find?
A piece of paper saying don't go to the floor, so we don't get to that floor.
Can you smell it?
Oh, there's so much smell of burning.
He's gonna have to spend a few minutes. Are you willing to wait? He starts to.
Look, we can leave it. I'd rather you have a good chat. I'll give you some time to repair my thing this morning.
Okay.
Are you repairing?
Drags the engine into the center of the room. There is one single source of light, which is nice. You can see now.
Because we have a few minutes.
We're leaving.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Well, I'm going to wait for him to get a guaranteed skin on it.
We'll stay down here. You do it with
Splitting up is such a good decision.
It is.
String.
with 2 people in each group. It's fine.
It's fine. We can watch
You
it.
stay here for the dog.
When you call me,
You hear behind you.
Dog for you, Shaggy.
He's metal Shaggy.
Man, you're Daphne, I know.
Right, let's split up here.
Why? I'm the smart
Fred,
one.
you're Fred. Oh.
You're Daphne. Daphne's good at fighting in the movie. There you go.
You head to the corner of the room and you see that at this one flickering light there is kind of a doorway. There is a door in there. The door has been broken. It is tilted at an axis. It looks like it has one large hole this big ripped through where the lock would be. Like something straight busted a fist through a part of the door frame that looks to be an aged wood. Looks kind of oakish, but definitely looks centuries old. Centuries, if not millennia. It is a door. He excessively does so.
Hold it open.
A distant kind of crack or bang or multiple different sounds or tuning throughout this room. The sound ricochets aggressively through this octagonal space.
Okay.
Yes.
His mind is going completely. Are you going to kill him?
No. Not
Oh, of course not.
You see, as soon as he walks in, it's a completely black room.
You're a nice guy.
And you're like at the doorway, and you see a triangle. No, it's a crisscross. It's a forward line. As Moki walks in, a line of green glows beneath his feet, shoots forward. A glow from the right of him shoots across. And the moment he walks in, he flares and he's gone.
I dive out of the way.
You dive out of the way. There is a flash of color from that hallway, from that light, and
It was not the teleportation. Are you still there? No, he's dead.
you hear behind you. He didn't go up here. Turns around. He gets in the
Okay,
way.
well, Moki just walked in the room and disappeared.
Well, he's a fool. He can just go.
Yeah.
No, wait, he's a centaur. We should be kind to them. They're endangered.
You want me to go in there as well?
Yes. You're an elf. Do your thing.
Hello.
Talk to the fey creature, man.
Hey.
You're out there, don't worry.
Old father, take the wheel! I walk into it.
Except penguins. He always kills the penguins. You walk in. a glow beneath your feet
I sure hope this
shoots
just
forward
doesn't just instantly vaporize the shit.
to the right.
It wasn't worth it to have that.
And about 30-ish seconds later, Deucalion comes to you, walks you to the edge of the octagonal space.
He didn't enter this building. He just went up.
Alright, that's, I forgot to get the muzzle off. No,
Which way should we go?
let's go. Let's go in.
There is no stairway up. There's just that weird room that they disappeared from. I don't know if that leads up. We're in an octagonal chamber cathedral?
We're in hell.
It feels like a
Right,
It feels like a nightmare.
give me a bit. This is gonna require a lot of engineering.
I'm gonna do an engineering check to make it the traveling any tool into a grappling.
This is gonna require a lot of engineering.
I'm gonna do an engineering check to make it the traveling any tool into a grappling hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's traveling
Just slightly
to-
complicating things.
What's the DC would be for getting the grappling
Oh,
hook?
I'd say, what's your craft mod? Plus 10?
I'll say it's engineering, but if
Oh yeah,
craft
engineering?
mod- that works here. My craft is plus 10.
Yeah, I'd say craft.
Engineering, craft plus 11.
Plus 11. Okay. So DC 20.
You should use this to
You're
make
on 9 or higher.
activated plutonium core.
I can't do that. It has to be
What
metal.
do you mean, no? Plutonium is metal.
True.
This
It's
was just make
plutonium.
some fission,
Right
it's
here.
fine.
22. Alright. You form that, and you also found that around your waist there is 25 feet of iron rope.
Good. Well,
It's not enough to actually, attach to anything up that high, but you could give it a shot. What are you trying to attack with? And attach this hook to where?
So after he makes the hook,
Yes.
we'll tie the work up.
Or,
Your magic exceeds you, I think.
it's not really magic. I guess it is.
That makes a lot of sense. It looked like you just flexed your arms and metal bent
Yeah, I guess you know.
into a hook.
We gotta throw this up there.
Next time I'll just try bending metal to do things with. It might work.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna throw it up, and we'll start climbing up them.
Okay, so one person at a time climbing vertically. Yeah, sure. How about you
why is he so...
you can roll a check to see if you can give him a bonus. I believe we can still do that, where you have to roll above a 10,
Yeah.
so you give him plus 2. I just rolled. He rolled okay.
What would be the cost for it?
Nothing?
Right, I have that.
You said okay. So he got a 20. He got a 25.
Yeah,
What are you trying to do?
Just trying to assist the grappler. Yeah.
it's gonna be a climb assist. Alright, that's 10.
So succeeds. So 27. Okay. Well, yeah, basically, and you're starting to see as he flings it up and gets it, his body is taking the weight. He starts to climb up himself, and there is some gradual decay rubbling from the areas where he's climbing up. Like, it looks like it's all holding fine, and he can probably secure it better up there. It just means that, the overall structural foundations of this place have probably remained a bit shaky if they haven't been touched in however long this place has been in darkness. You guys make it to the 3rd floor. How did you know you didn't know? There is white or grey light shining through an area of a wall that is very broken ahead of you. You come out of this, you emerge back onto it looks like a 20-foot wide tablet. Elven glyphs and symbols written and carved. It is so fey, it basically would baffle everyone but you two. These aren't just fey magic, it's celestial. It is teleportation, runes. It's old magic that has been distilled in your generations and has been lost to you. It's surprising these things stay in function. But what you enter, the inside is a distorted and destroyed picture of what the city's pinnacle home of worship, once rich with color and life, now a dark and desolate chamber. That's what it is. Its dark colors only illuminated by two large braziers, fires that sit on either side of a gold-embroidered throne. And there is a form that sits atop that throne, though his form is... There is light coming from in front of him, so it illuminates through him. You see a shadow. There is a complexion in this shadow. It is such a well-formed shadow. You notice ears pointed and elvish, a head bald. It's like a ghost, or an after image, or a wraith, or some shadowy puppet. It has a lot of distinct features of a bald, old elven man. To the right of you, that's to the left. To the right of you, a broken hallway which leads to a outward jutting bridge. Something connected to an upper part of this tower, which is a bridge extending out and over. You don't see where it goes, and you definitely think that further out that goes, it could be crumbled, could be not, there could be nothing that remains. In the corners of this room, you're seeing symbols you saw in the Radio Shack. Either side of the room, opposite sides of where that brazier is, on both walls, two symbols of the celestial heavens. Two murals on either wall. One mural guards a chest. Looks like a heavily locked box. The other, a table, circular like the other one that holds the chest. This table holds a pile of gold coins. Weirdly, they're like undulating. A set of boots and a mask. This room is filled in some ways with things, not as many as you would expect. It's like a throne room, and also a treasury room, and also where those green glowing orbs once were. Their dull, flickering green color resonates and holds in this chamber. You're seeing similar but different things. Protection runes, old abjuration runes, stuff that is formed by elves. It's as if what dwarves had made in runes, they make in script.
I can read this.
Songs or dance instructions, they form powerful abjuration wards against the things in this chamber. You're realizing even though the wall is destroyed, that could be a reason that this room seems to be duller than it normally is, although those braziers burn quite brightly. So as you two enter, Meliorn, Cicero, Imric, I need you to roll a history check.
What type of history?
Local.
Knowledge history.
Knowledge. You can do local.
Sure. I'll be far better.
Cis boy.
23.
23.
For local.
But you alone have seen images of this man on your walls. He's not loved by your people anymore. Your grandfather, in complete shadow, sits on this throne with a golden crown of thorns embroidered on his head.
Move away.
You can see, kind of like when Doctor Strange was doing that whole time vision thing, you can see his head kind of shifts, and after images from you.
Alright. Oh, and good.
Okay. So like 5 rounds later, you appear through the door. It's not hard. I mean, it's a big chamber, big central chamber. You don't exactly know what you're jumping into too, because you walk into a dark room and then colors appear at your feet, and then flash of light, and you're up at this floor. You hear Meliorn and Moki. You hear this in Sylvan. You hear words that kind of sound backwards. There's such a reform sentences. How her jungles nourished us, our bloodlines, so that we could wield his power. So 3 generations plagued by power will be undone by the one's mistakes. Soon. Then my forgotten home will be buried under Demeter's fury. For what their spirits hid from the gods. For her minions were cast into the water's depths. You're hearing words, phrases, mutterings. My God. I urged the father. I urged the old tree. I couldn't swim to the surface. But the ones that had forced the hands of the Cambrians, greatest shamans, had given 5 bloodlines a way to cross over without drawing in their own impurities. You hear, the heavens were infected. The head just goes back. You see it was like stretching out and contorting and shifting, and there were after images before it reverts. You will enter the room. You see the head is still kind of shifting and twisting, and it is not able to discern you are, even as you get
Punch the ghost.
the ghost. So run to the end of the room and then see if you can punch the ghost.
I put my bow away
Okay.
and like very just calmly walk into the room and then you
I'm speed walking. Getting
Okay.
ready to punch it.
No Milky, stop!
Yes, okay. Let me double check this. If you do go to it, make the attack, you let me know. Also, could you start the camera up so you could just get this shot? For that same reason. 1, 2, 3.
I'm like, now I'm gonna use it.
It'd be funny if I used it.
I feel like the D6 is the most egregious.
That is how. Do you know what type of bone it was made from?
Yeah, this is a classic. It doesn't look cool.
Oh, they do just look like bone. Very bony.
That size would be fucking expensive.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is some good bony.
This might look quite nice.
Okay. I need you to make me... This isn't a check you do not... This is against yourself. Animal handling. Ride.
Animal handle it. You mean handle animal? Or ride?
Handle animal, sorry. Handle animal or ride or wild empathy.
No,
Handle animal just sounds so shit.
I'm not doing that with charisma.
Same
Can I
good
take
thing.
ride instead?
You can take ride. The DC to hit this creature is 25.
More handle animal.
25.
I can't.
So as you go, no
Anything in red? Fair enough.
animals and magical beasts do not willingly approach within 30 feet of this creature. Magical beasts and animals do not...
Beast or animal. Hey.
That's a good point.
My creature type is fey.
Nah, you're a magical
Your creature type is fair. You are definitely a magical beast.
Sorry, magical beast.
The magic beast is creature
Yeah. It's like that bat creature you fought earlier. Okay. Well, because you're an animal.
Hey, he's definitely an animal.
Shut up, you're an animal.
Fucking creature.
You have 4 legs.
Fae.
Okay,
You're wearing pants.
I'm
Do
gonna.
you call one of those red little goblin things from the Fae an animal?
Yes.
No, it's a Fae creature.
I mean, yeah, take.
He's awful.
Filthy little fucking.
And he eats.
You are majority horse.
In terms of creature type, I am Fae.
You eat random shit off.
I'm not gonna stop you. You can do it.
He's more horse.
I don't have any ghost touch ability, so yeah, I can't. Wait, hold on a second. Oh, no. I just.
If you attack it, it gets something off on you. It has an aura for animals and magical beasts.
Oh, touch the crown. Okay.
You go to swipe the crown. Okay.
I'm gonna walk in the whole dice.
Yeet.
Well, it wasn't in one. Whatever.
I'm gonna say this is a touch attack.
I'm gonna be sleight of hand.
Would that be
Well, he's not even sleight of hand. He's just trying to rip at it. Like he's just going for it.
I'm gonna just assume it's like a punch thing.
Yeah, it would be. Fortunately, it's touch attack and its AC are both 18, so you do not hit.
It's got that deflection bonus.
You see it is incorporeal, and as you swipe for it, its body retreats back into the throne, and you see that crown just kind of rest on the seat of the throne. Do you go to pick up so its body just recesses back into this throne, but the crown just at the top of its head as the head disappears into the throne. It seems to just stay on the throne.
Give me the king, Leo. Only else can
Fortitude
touch you
check.
when you
Failure
die
day.
instantly. I like those types of stats.
Yeah, it is a will save.
Oh, okay.
He knew. Yeah, you just watched me look at my sheet and the reflection of my eyes. Okay, cool.
As a magical beast, you fail this.
Species 17, alright.
You have never had access to the Reverie. Something you don't really even know the name of that much. I've mentioned it a lot to Meliorn. It is.
Now since
Yeah, he was the only one who ever got. He was the only one. Meliorn only got Reverie checks. Cicero never got Reverie checks.
Cicero gets a better fucking name.
I'm a... No.
Yeah, Cicero, more like City.
You grab
Sure, a little bit.
the thorns and they embed into your hand. You don't even realize how sharp it is until you touch it. It's covered in thorns, golden thorns. As it pierces you from your back, this warm golden light begins to like flood. It feels like just the back of your head and your horse body is washed in a shower of hot water.
The holy healing power of the elves will now cleanse you of filth.
Meliorn, you just see him kind of like reach down at this crown and then just doesn't move.
You should not touch that.
You don't call. Totally up to you.
Shouldn't touch. Not a good idea.
You now watch his left arm, his cursed arm, hit the floor.
You realize
Stretches
it's
to
not-
10 feet long.
Oh god.
And then you realize it like starts to like liquidize.
I'm just gonna run forward a little bit.
The blackness from his arm, from his cursed arm, seems to just like sift out of his arm. There's metal with there too. There are these strands of this long metal, dark metal color.
Try dropping the crown and just stuff in my hand.
When you grab it, this golden light that filters all and behind you, it reminds you of nothing, but it feels infinitely more connected to a different place, a place that is connected to your blood. So when you feel the connection, it feels more like a bit of deja vu. Like you've touched this thing before, and then you see at the corner of this room where there is nothing but a piece of stone. Oh! I knew this was going to happen. So, literally time for 5 seconds.
We return to the dark.
This is all I wanted. For him to lose.
No.
That's my whole thing.
It's literally not your whole thing at all. You got it in session 1.
I made it my whole thing.
Well, now you can make something else.
Oh, you fixed yourself. Too bad.
Yeah, we
You
did.
did it.
Literally 95 or
Okay, let's do it. You've done it. You fixed it.
Your
Okay.
lifeline is your family.
You're Q and yay. Ancient elf magic.
What about you know, like
It's custom made. That is it.
No. You have a.
Indifferent.
That's what it is.
Indifferent. Did I believe it here?
That's just some like pop.
Where did I put it?
I can't wait to catch up. David with theories.
Yeah. And it's cool.
Oh my god, what am I going? Oh no, I have... Where's my thing gone? Oh, I don't have it anymore. I don't know. It was like right here. It is... Oh, it's here. It's hidden. So this is in the corner of the room right here. Doesn't look... Just looks like rock. When you activate Golden Glow... When you activate Golden Glow, you see this. It is a skull that is illuminated from the inside like it is transparent. A skull with eyes that burst on fire. You have seen this, you have remembered it. Although when you remember is that it was a bone hand clutching a skull on fire. Now you see a skull on fire illuminated by a black wall, and you hear words like, they sound like your name loosely, but they start to merge into different M's, like you don't hear your father's name or your brother's name. But you do.
You hear actual power, the power of the elves fixing your prophetic curse.
I'm a fighter now.
Oh my god.
The entirety of the strength of your tribe is like a tiny candle that instantly got blown out. Actual power. Oh, weird.
You hear. Your bloodline is connected. What?
We connected the way.
You get it.
Fight.
You want to fight it? Make a will save.
Punch the golden light.
Punch the influence.
Make a will save.
Can't do anything.
Oh, well.
There's another will save.
Give yourself to our mercy.
But guys, I'm ready for societal this. I'm excited.
Look, if you're gonna sign up for anything.
That's not the one roll.
Yeah, that's big enough.
He wants to make stuff happen.
Now we're gonna deny every possible chance for me to ever lose any of my chances for the rest of the
Imagine if a DM just hid everything behind rolls. That would suck, wouldn't it?
I got the same exact fuck number.
What did you get total? 12?
Again.
12.
I want to suck.
Good, the DC was 15.
The only thing I want is deck.
No!
Yeah, well the first one was 20 and it's...
My strength. You can't take it. I won't let you.
You stole it from your father. You see, your mind is pulled back. That tunnel of light becomes a doorway, like a single beam of blackness circulating on this skull that is transparent, and its eyes burst with fire.
I've run out too.
Mine, admit it, mine!
I'm trying to take the crown off of it.
You see 6 or 8 arms. Your father's kind of centipede-like form bends over a town that you recognize from a totally different angle, and you see the cliffs to the east. You see your father looks out to the west, and he sees Krueler.
Are you telling me he's a centaur?
I think he's a dead.
You see wings.
My son has left.
You hear behind, like cannons. And then you see it turn around, and there is a bright burning sight of fire. And that fire shoots towards your face, and it is blinding. And in that same blinding way, your eyes recess and return and leave that skull of fire. There was something behind him that was bright, just as bright as whatever it is, helped you exit, helped you release yourself from it. And Melion, you see that from what Cicero, every time you're going to say it, I'm going to say it again. The skull seems to like smoke itself into apparition pressed to the edge of that piece of stone. It's not on fire, But you see Moki pulls his hand back, and you see, as he does that, every piece of liquid organ on the floor, it's all black. There are like faint trails, like oil through water, where there's like, it's like a metal consistency. The blackness sucks back in. You see the ground is now coated in some areas, splotchy, but like layers of this metal. It's now just covering areas of the floor. You see the darkness return to Moki's hand, and his hand seems better, or at least...
Still stuck in my hand.
No, you were able to rip your hand off of it. It was actually, because it like embedded itself in your hand. You could continue to hold it, but it would stay.
Throw it.
Just for once resist. Like I'm picking up every shiny thing that you see.
Yeah, because the first time you see him pick it up, all of a sudden a skull apparates, 15 feet away. That's normal in this room. A room full of very old, ancient elven thingies.
Has 5 minutes fallen?
Yeah, after that scene happens, I would say yes and no. You hear Meliorn behind you, and Grok steps out from behind the wall. No, it's been Meliorn this whole time. That's what I've been saying.
Whoa. How am I back? Shit.
Look at that.
I fix myself.
I have no idea what Grok's mini is, so it all just exists. It's there. Right.
I'm over here. I'm everywhere.
He is everywhere, and he's now here.
Rockberry is everywhere. I'm back. You cannot escape. Grapple bottom.
And Grok, behind you, you see that same flash. And then there's another thing. It has antlers. It's not Cornell. It has like leather braces. It has large leather socks that cover hooves.
Oh, nice to meet you.
You see a snout
Let me introduce you.
on kind of like a foxish body, but an upper half of like a satyr. It's shorter than you, and as you reach out your hand, it gets down onto 4 legs and just begins to like walk, crawl out. Behind you, it's pretty weird. You've been. It's just another Moki walking in.
You can become a superior being.
Okay. My only problem is I can't find the mini for it. It's okay. You see it is like a whitish fur or hair that is emerging thick from the sides of the arms, but there are many layers of clothing and leather binding this creature together. You see a bow strapped to his back with arrows held at the waist. It steps in, looks towards everyone in the room except Cicero. You pick up the crown, you look back, and...
Oh no. Oh my god. I pull over. I start moving backwards. Against the wall. No, why? Why are you acting like that? It's in my dreams, in my visions. This has all been in my visions.
Come! You must not stay where you do not belong. But you never heard it talk. The voice, oddly familiar, not from this person, but it sounds kind of elvish in a very formal type of presence. You see, in a quick movement of motion, he does a wide berth around Cicero and around Moki, and he cuts you, Moki, off from getting any closer towards the ghost ghastly form, which you start to see as Cicero grabs the crown. It starts to rise back up, and the shadow form starts to kind of reform around it. You see, as you grab onto it, your hand is in almost the same motion. Because did you grab it and didn't let go?
I mean, he threw it on the floor.
You threw it on the floor. You don't grab it. You see
If
that
it
that
starts pulling away, I'll
no
persist for a second, but,
the from the throne where that once was, there is that ghost form coming back up, which you are now moving away from. And the antler form is on top of you. Hasn't looked at you this whole time. Is reaching for that crown. You give it to it.
Oh, I
Okay.
really think something was happening here.
You see it look at you. Actually, no, it doesn't look at you. Its eyes face forward, but its eyes kind of are shooting out at two different directions. As it faces you with its nose, you realize it's not looking at you. It's looking at everything else. You hear "Forgotten Home Away from Home" in Sylvan. You hear from the shadowy ghost form, "The vibe will succumb to the void. My son betrayed me." You hear from this snouted form, "You do not belong here. By keeping track on this gateway, which you just used 3 times, I'm very much aware when someone tries to enter the room of Ignis. These words do not make any sense. He says he was tossed here by a small black boy with white hair. That is all I can get from him."
What? Hold on. Alright, I can't understand. It's gonna be fine. What? What did he say?
It is in Sylvan.
Guys, what are they saying? I'm just hearing pretty.
You see Moki's form has kind of regathered where there was just like massive chunks of black flesh and just skin missing. There's none of that. He's got all of his skin back.
Right.
It's black veins. That it's all thick, stuck veins.
Well, I'm actually on my last legs. I'm actually surprised I'm still alive and awake during the pain that I'm suffering constantly and angry. Can you fix that? Okay.
why is he here?
Why are you here? You
Looking for a friend?
stumbled here.
Yes.
There is another creature here.
3 tapes.
3 tapes. Yes.
And another one.
He climbs the spire of a distant building, trying to get his view of you. This is his lair. He belongs here. And he does not take kindly to those who wander too closely towards him.
We're not leaving until we get from
Sure, how are we leaving?
There are ways.
We have to get one out to
You be one of them?
I assume so.
I can?
Key to the gateway inside the corner.
No.
Say yes.
It looks out towards the broken entryway where this kind of bridge. There's nothing. This whole room should be filled with what looks like books, as tall bookshelves would represent that. There is none of that. The only loot that remains in this place is a chest on a tall. Like there's all these boxes and stuff. There could be something in there. A chest, a pile, the one that's right above where Felix literally can't see it. A chest filled with gold that is undulating. A set of boots. A mask. That is all that lies on that table. The other one has a chest. The door behind it looks like just a regular clay mold, but you see very quickly there is a hand that it appears in front of you. It's from this stag creature, and you see kind of like choosing a new face. You see it swipes 5 feet away from you. Holds its hand up, swipes to the left, and you see just like dark tethers of smoke and what look like metal veins ethereally drift through the air and just kind of leave this clean, regular, colored version of Melior, the one you first met him with. Your hands reveal skin, not bone. And you see as he drifts what looks like a porcelain shadow face in his hand, 5 feet away from his hand, and he just places it on the mask that is on that table. You see it sinks into it. This shadow kind of sinks into what looks like a clay molded mask, and you see that mask begins to twist and distort and transform into kind of like an Oni shaped mask. You see large metal tusks grow out from when it was just a regular porcelain type of face mask. That mask takes dark negative energy and uses it to make people afraid. I have a way to get you back. But we need to lure the creature here so that gateway you entered can also send you back. Although I don't exactly know where. I am in your mind. I am a memory. I am a memory all elves have.
Make acquaintance with the human version.
Could you perhaps remove the suffering that I'm constantly feeling right now?
Yeah, he's sort of dying.
My skin is still burning.
Dark magic.
Oh, you are cursed too.
Maybe the magic.
The same as this one. It is costly.
I am covered in metal. I cannot do it.
It's cosplay.
He holds, as long as I have this, and he clutches the crown. You see, it pierces skin, but you don't see any piercing in his fur. You don't see blood drip from his fur, but you see like a delayed reaction. There's no blood down here, there's just a drip. No blood emerges from his body, but he does start to drip blood, even though he pierces his hand. Very, very strange. You watch him put his hand 5 feet away from you, moves it, swipes it sideways, and you see all of the liquid on your face gathers into kind of like it almost looks like it first gathers into an orb, but then it forms a mask. A form of a face that is a lot like yours, and he moves it to the mask on the table, which seems to absorb it. Unfortunately, this room holds cursed artifacts. The point of this room is to contain said curses. So that mask there can hold all of the excess damage.
I'm feeling the metal come up my throat.
You might want to bend him over, let him just dry reach for a minute. It will take a minute for the contaminated blood vessels to refigure themselves.
So much.
The voice behind you grows and quiets. This thing doesn't speak properly. You know this.
What is he doing here? He was sent here by a little black bird.
He was for
He's a curse.
He this whole time has not looked at you once. You could do a sense motive if you wanted to, but you hear from him in response to you, even though he doesn't look at you.
He says, this child who took Ignis appeared to have entered the void. The void tear is a place much like this, much darker, with much less gravity. But he could not be bound in the form of what he left in. So darkness on darkness doesn't really work. He was a circle, roughly translated. That's all I know. He was a circle. He does just multiple circle motions. And when the black child went into the darkness, that circle was flung, jettisoned with the last remaining life of Ignis to here. So I found him. And luckily this room holds Fey energy that is cursed. So it held him. This whole place holds cursed energy. And it might be still holding. He looks at the walls as they flicker with faint green light. Might be still holding.
Get out of here, but I mean, what is?
It is dangerous to draw darkness into this room, but the only way to get him safely out is to lead him into that teleportation tablet.
What is Sever? What is the point of this place?
He walks to the area where the mask, the transforming mask is, where there is a pile of gold on the table. And he holds his hand up against and kind of gently rubs dust off of a mural, an illustration where you see six fingers hang at the bottom of what looks like a kind of ribbon wrapping around a heart that is green, and the ribbon is made of wood, and the branches are golden, like fallen branches. Something very bad happened 300 years ago. The heavens were separated. Someone who did not belong in there broke it apart. And of course, the heavens that everything but elves go to have a connection to the heaven that the elves return to cyclically. You are reborn every 1,000 years, spat back out by the old father of trees. It is his way of reminding you that you were once a problem child, like me. These realms, these heavens, when I returned, they were okay, but it was in my ignorance that they were disassembled, struck. And this one, Sephira, the heart of the holy root. It is a city mimicked in Anemium by a fey world by its beauty, but here it was succumbed to darkness. Its shadow had never been. It was always filled with light. I cannot say that the dreaming remains here, for I have never dreamed. I only remember. But if this place is connected to the dreaming, and it is also connected to the void, then that does not speak good for the connection between the two, the life that can be transmuted between both places. But it seems that only curses, or a cursed mind, or a cursed body can retain and return here.
Do you have any schools that have fight curses? I would really like to learn this because I feel like I'm going to get into a shit ton more situations like this. This is where like this.
Common is
For the first time, you're like, fuck, that doesn't.
It's true.
Sorry, we just got into a flow and the conversation was beautiful, and then
Right.
we just started talking.
Ah,
Oh, you can speak common. Oh.
yes I can. He actually throws you a set of boots and says, try these on. From the table.
Like,
Curse boots.
have to give it to me. I just would like to know how to protect myself from curses. But there seems to be like the curse.
I
do give
can...
you boots, my boots are
I
made
can help you decipher a type of... He doesn't have a spell scroll, but he pulls out what looks like a large piece of empty blank paper, and he begins to, with an inkwell that was in his leather sack, in his like tight pockets to his body. You didn't think that his body could hold this large piece of, like, it's not much clothing. You don't know where that came from. He begins to scrawl and scribe a removing disease spell. Removing curses is a lot more complicated than it looks, and by the end of the minute he scribes this for you. He finishes, dots, and says, This will not cure your curses, for I do not know how to cure them, I simply know how to transfer them. It is a natural magic that only elves can do without breaking a kind of vein in your body. I simply moved it to a mask that has strong abjuration and necromantic energy, so it could do what the curse was doing to you, just on an object of some repute. With this, he hands you the remove disease spell. I think it's 2nd level. This should help. In that, I believe what this place infects you with is a type of mental disease. Don't look at the moon.
Alright, I'll make sure to study it tomorrow.
It is not a curse, but a living bacteria funneled through a different plane, so its properties are not the same. You get the boots of Elvenkind. Is there a way that we can pull your cursed friend into this room? Do you have a lure? Do you have some sort of... You hear... Steps up, you see at the edge of this bridge here, climbs. I have made it.
He will do.
600 feet.
We don't hate him.
Right.
We'll just hang him by his underwear outside. And he'll
So I figured out a trick
I only have leggings.
to get Krueler to come.
What am I being the lure for? I'm invested.
Right.
What do I need to do?
Broken chimes of time.
Oh, we have to get.
So what I've learned is that Cornell is really annoyed at time magic.
That wouldn't make
It
sense.
pisses him off so much the knocking or something. And he wants to destroy it. It's just an idea. Well, none of that shouldn't be.
Wait, you guys are good with time?
No, I'm basically an elementary. But if you can do anything to make it louder,
If you have any curses while you're
amplify
here,
it, be a good idea.
you could get rid of them.
I have a woman who can find other cursed people like us. I can't remove the curses, I'm sorry. This is Dukeli talking.
So do you have like a way to amplify sound? And I'll just make a chime noise.
The deer stag creature says, yes, this whole room is filled with good acoustics. Sounds that can be reverberated easily in an octagonal chamber below and above.
Alright, I'll just start hitting the chimes then.
I mean, it sounds bad at first, but the more consistently you do it, the more this whole room begins to kind of thrum with that sound.
Why do you sing one as well?
Now the voice has.
That's fair. One song, Grok's just like, no, I wouldn't sing in a week. This... Okay.
This is literally nothing.
Yeah.
There is no, I want Cornell to make me a will save. Do that. He doesn't, you're right, he doesn't like time. Time in this place is already funky, you know. Don't fuck with this place. Okay, so here's the more interesting part. You aren't instinctually pulled to just climb the spire and seek him out. That noise does piss you off. It pisses you off because it's loud and whiny and kind of permeates this quiet, comfortable space. You know exactly where he is. You have all of the pace in the world you could take. If you want to say you don't even enter the room in the next 10 minutes, it's up to you. How you approach this situation is up to you. I think it's still annoying. It doesn't cause any major. You were basically, immediately as you got down, you gravity switched sideways and you began to climb up and around some of the spires, leaping between a few of them. There were bridges, many bridges that connect the taller spires. But this whole place, it's like 8 tall, some of them, the ones at the front are very tall, 8 spires that kind of are formed in a circle. So kind of like
kind of like Levi with the Titans, you can very easily like jump between each of these two. So while this bridge connects to, like, say, the spire from the east, you could be destroying coming from the western side. They would have no idea. You can exist in this space.
I'll spend 10 minutes. The positions in the room.
I mean, you know this only because of your other form. Your other form knows that this place was attacked by a really, really big red dragon who could crossfade dimensions in a form of 300-year period. So, like this place once held a lot of beauty, even to your demonic form. Now it's ash and charred. There aren't many things that still remain in this place that hold sentimental value to your disgusting, diseased, mental scope. That being said, there is one room that held elven, like, protection sigils and all of that, and this central front tower, it did function as the primary spotlight for a kingdom of heaven. The Sephira, these buildings were guarded by angels, and now they're your playthings. So, that room could not stop you from trespassing. It could stop the big guy from trespassing. It couldn't stop you from impacting it the way you wanted to. You could also choose, because it's kind of been left alone, you could just destroy it all and, let all of the darkness in this place suffuse the room. It's totally up to you. I did. And I also can give you that there has been a ghost up there the whole time that basically is incoherent, and it's just annoying, There's nothing that's good about it.
Might as well. It's annoying ghost, annoying sound. Turn it off.
Okay. So about 8 minutes in, you hear there is a rumble, and it's from below you. This kind of 8 minutes in, you've done 80 rounds of whacking the stick on a bridge to make the reverberation sounds. At this point, like, Deucalion has his arms around his ears. The elf thing just does one kind of like ear squiggle. Satyr, you try to climb under the bridge. You do, and that's when you realize you obviously first the sound below. You're not exactly seeing anything. It's pretty dark the further you look down, but there is one dot of green far below that should give you some inkling to if there's something inside, and that light is gone. There's one tiny bit of glowing at the bottom central chamber. There is no glow from that room anymore. And so the floor, you're like 60 to 120 feet up. Scale is really weird here. There is no light. There is a sound. Just no sound up.
I think it's what.
As Grok says that, the whole chamber shifts left, 2 degrees to the left, the whole floor tilts, the bridge and the bridge starts to collapse right as Meliorn is kind of like holding under the bridge. Further out, that just rubbles. The edge you're at is okay. Balls. The corners of the room, the bookshelves fall, the gold that you see pooling, Grok, you're like, that's a magical bag of holding pooling gold. But you see the moment the liquid leaves the bag of holding, it's the same metal color that your ship was. Halfway through its descent, like liquid waterfall, it becomes gold and then forms into coins. Those coins are undulating. Wet coins, liquid coins.
Right, curse money.
Curse money. And then beside that is obviously the mask that looks basically like a really dark Japanese Oni mask right now. Obviously dark.
Look, I'm gonna head back downstairs, get my engine.
We need to take this. The sigil here is one of the only ones that can get you back. That I know.
The voice of this deer creature starts to change a little bit. The nervousness in his voice strains out that really present, kind of different sound. He now just sounds kind of elf-like.
Well, I stood there when I head back down to the floor.
Yes, but maybe not for long. There's a lot of damage happening somewhere below. The floor moves. Grok leaves. And then you notice at the ground floor of this room, there is a kind of just layers of... they look more like pillars. Parts of this wall that, like Grok designs a ship, they have long central beams crisscrossing this whole area. Is like if 16 different metal beams all fell inwards and creating this like jutting angular piece of broken wall. There are pieces of this wall that still remain. There is not much of this first floor that has not had its walls torn out. And I mean, you know what happens when 3/4 of it are torn out. There's maybe half of every part of the lower floor of this wall torn. And you see a part of another wall rips open. Not much, each at a time, probably 10 feet wide chunks of this wall are being ripped open. And you see as that wall chunk explodes inwards, 6 red eyes glow in, staring dead at you. And for the fun of it, we'll end the episode there. And we will get back to this. Get back to this shocking... But, you know what? I put this map here because I'm like, you know, that's the upper floor. It's probably the easiest to describe. I'm just going to make a massive battle map that's just... it's all destroyed. All ruined.
They fall.